Well, here we are, episode 115. And on this episode, I have the Wrecking Two in the house. Mark Smith and Lou Calicchio from the Relish Show. Jack might make an appearance. We'll see. The Mystery Man. Well, either way, we're going to be talking about 1985, the year in music, and probably, give a little update on what the big headlines were. And, well, it should be a good show. Lots to talk about. Bands that were formed, bands that broke up, all about 1985, right in the middle of the greatest decade ever. Enjoy the show.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. Young Amanda, my beautiful little daughter, she's up in Tallahassee now, back at FSU, and she's riding out a storm. She's riding the storm out. A hurricane went by there. So I think she's okay. Everybody gets all worried. College kids and hurricanes. It's like Christmas and candy canes. They love it. I don't care. They can act all scared. I have no delusions. There was a hurricane party or three going on. No doubt. School was canceled from Friday and Monday, for the rest of the week. And then Monday is no. Oh, I'm scared. And then they hang up the phone. It's like, shots. Anyway. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. You know the name of it. I'm not going to say it. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch, DLive, and I don't know how many other live platforms are on right now. And so this week we're going to talk about the year 1985 in music. But before we do that, this podcast is sponsored by Hot Jaws Hot Sauce. It's a small batch handmade hot sauce, and it's really good. It's really good. You can find it at hotjaws.store. Yeah. Trust me. That last hot sauce place didn't send me anything. Hot Jaws. Why do I always get hot sauce sponsors? That's a strange thing. I don't know. But they sent me this jalapeno pineapple. Oh, good Lord. Put that on a slice of pepperoni pizza. As my 89-year-old father says, you think you died and gone to heaven. So, he's not Jewish, so. I don't know if they say that. Anyway, again. Speaking of pepperoni pizza, it's Mark Smith from the Relish Show.
Pepperoni porcupine pizza. How you doing?
Yeah. And then speaking of habanero pineapple, it's Lou Calicchio from the Relish Show.
Greetings.
All right.
He's doing the Ed McMahon tonight.
So
you are correct, sir.
Look at the last couple of weeks, last month, Lou's been in Paris, right? Now he's
I have a summer. Actually, it's in the south of France. I have a summer place there.
Yeah, and now he's in some hostel in like Ireland with the quilt over the back of the couch. Like he's just touring Europe, and he's bringing all his podcast equipment with him.
You guys want to keep it down back there?
That's right, you hostile people. All
No,
you
I'm
hostile
very hostile.
bums.
I'm not hostile.
Don't you think that people that like live in hostels and travel, they're kind of like hobos?
Yeah,
right?
it's more like a hobo. You're right. Like,
I'm traveling Europe. No, you're a fucking hobo.
You do have a debit card
in another country.
Kind of yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not panhandling.
No.
Not like in Asheville.
Uh-oh.
They're passing panhandling laws now about violently accosting tourists on the street. I shouldn't say that. But
Let me guess. It's a liberal mayor.
Here we go. I'm on the wrong show. I'm on the music show here.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think Asheville has never had anything but, as far as I know.
There you go.
Not since I've been living here.
There you go.
I'm running for mayor next time.
Lou for mayor. Lou for mayor.
It's Lou God Emperor of Asheville.
Lou God Emperor. Yeah, shouldn't God come after Emperor God?
Emperor. Sure.
Shouldn't God be the, well, like PhD, my wife says PhD should always be the first letters in the, so all right, we'll give you God. God's like the PhD of religion, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Hey, Lou, me and Scott will come vote for you.
Sure.
That's right. I'll drive up there.
The actual tourist stadium will be my gladiator arena. I have plans.
Gentlemen, we have to say good evening to Patty Yossi.
Oh, hey, Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Good evening, Patty. Good evening. So let's jump right into it. Well, first of all, I always have to ask, how's the Music Relish show going?
Good.
All right. What was the topic this past Sunday?
Mark, why'd you do that?
The
Mark
topic
hosted it.
We did another radio show. So I hosted and I introduced a lot of good songs from Lou, Perry, and their friend Tom Griffin was involved, and a couple songs with those two together. It's all DIY recording, stuff they did at home. So
nice. 4-track cassette players and all that stuff.
4 to 8, and that's about
4 to 8, and that's it, right?
Yep.
That's some old school right there, buddy.
No, I think all those were 4-track. They were.
All right.
Nah, there was a couple digital ones with the 8-track.
Was there?
Yeah, from Single Wide Sound.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
All right. Very good.
It was
Very
fun. We delete them after 2 weeks in case people want to rob us, for song protection. I don't know.
Like some other podcast that steals your song for its entrance
music.
Is
that kind of weird?
Isn't that? I mean, how dare they do that?
That was not without permission. And blessings.
Blessings.
I can't hear it enough.
All right, so let's jump right into it. First of all, I have a question. Do radio stations play any pre-Buckingham Nicks Fleetwood Mac songs?
Yes, there's one station by me in Westchester County, The Peak, and they do play a lot of stuff from Peter Green era.
Really?
And stuff like that, yeah.
Asheville, WNCW at Asheville might, but I use satellite, but I hear a lot of Peter Green stuff. Very much. I heard Albatross the other day.
All right.
Albatross.
I don't hear it on satellite.
Really?
Satellite radio.
I do. On like deep tracks.
Yeah.
Classic vinyl. Not a ton, but
yeah.
It's funny when I hear it. Peter Green was known for having this amazing guitar tone. I'm like, I need to hear it otherwise in my car, but I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, it's really nice, but I'm not getting the holy shit. I'm not saying it's not there, but
it's another era before the fire burning guitar players. He was more of a traditional.
But he was known for the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see. I saw the other day that Van Halen music has hit a possible new low. Let me see. Oh, Patty said, is your podcast called Music Relish? She had no luck finding it.
We're on YouTube, Music Relish Show, and pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts, but just look for us on YouTube. Music Relish Show, maybe.
Music Relish Show.
Yeah.
That's your YouTube channel.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to find us.
All right. So
thank you.
Like I had said, I think some Van Halen music has hit an all-time low. I was watching TV the other day, and it wasn't even like real TV. It's like the Roku channel, right?
Okay.
I don't know why I love Roku, and I love Pluto TV, right? Pluto TV is
and Tubi.
Tubi, yeah.
Dude, I'm finding there's a lot of crazy
old school movies. Yeah.
On Tubi.
Yes,
I belong to this
weird shit.
Yeah, I belong to this Facebook group. It's called Grindhouse Sleaze and Video Exploitation, right? And they post the craziest like stuff. Crazy as like watch this movie. Well,
so
I watched one
surprised-
the other day, and these people are insane.
I'm surprised you're a member of that group, Scott. I really am.
Really?
So I'm watching Pluto TV on Roku, and an Applebee's commercial comes on, and the song "Jump" is in it. I'm like, oh, Applebee's, really, Van Halen sold it to Applebee's.
Did they sing other lyrics over? Was there like other?
No, it's the original. Jump.
Wow.
Oh.
So who let that one go? Was it Wolfie?
Or Alex. Might be
Alex.
Alex. Yeah. I think Alex is in charge of the whole thing.
The Reverend Alex Van Halen?
Yeah. The drummer. See, the drummer did it again.
So where's the
Is he a
drummer?
reverend?
He's a ordained minister of some sort.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
He just doesn't want to pay his taxes. That's all.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to do
Al
it.
Green, all of them.
I'll
Yeah.
become a minister.
So, 1985.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's start from day one. January 1st, 1985. Kind of significant day for music, whereas the newest music video channel, VH1,
Ooh.
begins broadcasting on American cable. And it's aimed at the older demographic, right? Than MTV, which is, in other words, the
What was
original
older?
MTV watchers.
over 20 crowd.
Yeah, the original MTV watchers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Started kind of moving on. The first video played, you'd never guess it in a million years unless you actually knew this. You know what I mean?
Can we
Like,
have can we have a hint, like a genre?
This doesn't have a genre. Oh, like arena music or stadium music, sports. It's played at every sporting event. In
Gary Glitter?
no,
Final Countdown.
no.
Okay, I'm done.
Mark,
I have no clue.
Marvin Gaye's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner.
Okay.
Wow.
Really?
That's a
Never
trivia
guessed.
question.
That is.
Yeah.
That
Never-
is a trivia. What was the first video ever played on VH1? Everybody knows. When people come out with the Buggles, it's like, hey, guess what the first video? That's right up there with, hey, Prince wrote, the Sinead O'Connor song.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's right up there with, hey, what's the first video ever played on MTV?
We all know. Everyone knows that question.
Everyone knows
just
it.
about. Yeah. VH1. I've never even seen that in any kind of online search. Just any rabbit hole saying what was the first VH1.
Yeah.
I forgot VH1 was intended for a more adult audience, a more mature audience.
Yep. First video played was Marvin Gaye's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard it?
No.
I haven't either.
No. Tom Benderwall's in the house. Good
Hey,
evening,
my
sir.
cousin. Hey, Tommy.
My new
Hey.
friend.
Hey, did those links work? Did you try to?
Oh shit! I forgot.
It's all right. It's all right. You
It's on-
can't
it's
do it.
on
Once it's
Facebook,
live,
right?
you can't do it.
Okay.
So,
I tried it last time actually.
yeah. I
And I
just
don't
sent
know-
those out.
I don't know if it took. I didn't see anything on my page, but it looked like it was. I could see we were live on it, but I don't know if it
We'll work on it.
connected. Yeah.
Boss, I'll do it next week. I'm sorry I was out last week, and I have my note, but I lost it. Okay.
And he's going to be
I
out this
think we
week
were
on
all
Music
out last
Relish.
week, Mark.
I was out of consciousness.
You were out of yeah.
Scott, he's ditching Music Relish this Sunday too. He's going to go to a baseball game with free wine and food and stuff.
That's the
So-
wine.
So Perry and I are doing a shorty.
He would go
Because we
to
can't do it.
he would go to a fucking garbage dump for free wine and watch trucks unload trash.
It's
for
the
free
Can
wine.
Am. It's the Can Am League of the Northeast.
The
I-
Very
Can-Ham
respectable
League.
league. Most players are around 40 years old. It's a great league. It's great.
I could see Mark in one of those old school fold out aluminum with the nylon netting chairs at a dump, right? At a dump, and he opens it up. It's the green and white one, right? It's the
Yeah,
green
yeah.
and white nylon thing. Opens it up, sits there, and they bring over the free wine, and they're watching trucks just unload like asbestos,
Dead bodies.
bricks,
Asbestos.
rubble. And
Smells like
Syringes.
shit, but the wine is good.
exactly,
Old-
and Mark's
old
drinking the
diapers.
wine. I can see it.
And every time I get up, I got those marks on my back from the
Yeah.
from the plastic band.
Well, that's the plastic bands. I'm talking the old nylon ones.
Oh yeah,
they
those
were
hurt.
like 2 inches wide, and they
when they
wove.
ripped, you get those little sharp areas that
Yeah.
would cut into you.
Yeah, with the aluminum. Yeah. So anyway, January 11th, 85, one of the biggest music festivals in the world begins in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Rock in Rio.
I think I just got dissed by Scott big time. That was fun.
What's that? Oh,
Me
doing
sitting
that at the dump? You
The
like
nylon.
it?
Rock in Rio, great festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a public of 1.5 million people.
Oh God, that's too many. That's way too many people.
The concert included Iron Maiden, Nina Hagen, the B-52s, the Go-Go's, Queen, Rod Stewart, James Taylor, AC/DC, and evidently many more.
Not to mention Nina Hagen. What the hell?
Right?
I know the name. I think wasn't she like an SNL sometimes? Was she like a punk?
I think so, yeah.
I think like
yeah.
Patti Smith in that early.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool for her to get there.
Yeah. Also on January 11th, 85, Willie Dixon sues Led Zeppelin over the song Whole Lotta Love.
He won, didn't he?
Yep.
A lawsuit was settled out of court.
God,
And if you
great.
buy
Which
the
means he
album now,
won.
He won.
if you buy the album now, it says Page Plant and W. Dixon.
He's getting paid, or his estate.
His
He's probably
estate.
Yeah. Wonder if they gave him back money too
Right.
for that. You know?
like George Harrison when he got sued for He's So Fine.
Oh man, how bad! That was the most blatant ripoff ever.
Yeah, the embarrassed Beatle. You know, he didn't. I don't think he meant it. I don't think he meant
We
it.
had this discussion.
We
That's
did.
too coincidental to not mean that.
I don't know. Why would George? He wrote something. Here
He
comes
didn't
why
care.
would he have
He's
to
like,
steal it?
I got the money. I like the lyrics. I like the song. I don't care.
You're
Just
that's
release
so
it.
cynical.
I do not think George Harrison. Do not like. Everyone thinks he's such an angel.
No, he wasn't. He
I
wasn't.
can't think that he was. But he's and listen. Sometimes your ego gets the best of you. You're like, fuck it, just release it. I don't care.
I got the money if they sue me.
Look
But he ended up buying the rights to the song after that. So if he was going to get sued for it, he's going to make money on it. You know?
P. Diddy did it with Every Breath You Take.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're like, I don't. It's just a good song, and I got enough money. What are they going to get from me?
That video you sent us today, James Brown's drummer, sampled into oblivion and hasn't seen a dime or hasn't seen a penny.
That's that. I had sent you that a while back. That drum beat. It's the
Yeah, you
most
did.
sampled drum beat in music history, and it's an amazing drum beat. Let me see. Joe Scholl just messaged in and said, "Good evening, gents. I was watching some Def Leppard videos today. Still amazed at Rick Allen. Awesome.
Give him credit.
You got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, no, what's worse is that when his arm was severed, they attached it and they had to take it off again because it didn't take. No hope, but overcame. Yeah.
I can tell you, he'll never go to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida anymore.
Or at least go outside for a cigarette.
He got attacked.
No, do you guys know how he reproduced the snare drum? What his way of doing? He did it with his left foot.
Yeah,
that would normally be on the hi-hat pedal. He's just the 2 and the 4 was with his foot, which makes a lot of sense because you do that a lot anyway. So yeah, pretty clever. Gotta say.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Could you tell a difference in the drumming? I couldn't.
Yes. Well, Lang made it very
Tell me.
clinical. So
his sound was always very processed.
Yeah.
Even though, like
most of those bands are.
Yeah, the 80s was about drum production, really. If you think of anything, your basic rock band, it was about the drum production. Guitars are guitars, bass. Who wants to play?
And don't
bass
forget
who really wants to play
saxophones.
bass anyway? You know what I mean?
Remember saxophones.
Heavy metal saxophone.
There was saxophones in almost every big pop song.
From
Like-
1979 on, you're right.
I was just listening to listening to Corey Hart, Never Surrender came on the radio today.
Yeah.
Big sax solo in the middle of it, right?
I heard a Poco song, one of their Heart of the Night. They never had big hits, but I said that was not a Southern rock band. They didn't have a sax player in their band when Randy Meisner was in there. It was just, it was 1979. The producers were like, this is happening. It's
let's bring sax. Let's make sax sexy again.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. February. February.
Well done.
February. February.
What day's today?
Today?
Yeah.
It's not February.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. February. Just months after the compact disc release of his 16th and most recent studio album, Tonight, and nearly 2 years after the initial CD release of its predecessor, Let's Dance, RCA Records reissues David Bowie's previous 14 studio albums plus four greatest hits albums on the DVD format. Consequently, Bowie becomes the first major artist to have his entire catalog converted to CD. That's a trivia question. Right?
Yeah.
Who was the first rock music artist to have its entire catalog converted to CD? Yeah. Let's see. February 14th, Whitney Houston releases her debut album.
Valentine's Day. Hey.
Yeah. Let's see. February 22nd, the One Night with Blue Note concert celebrating the relaunch of Blue Note Records.
Yeah.
Featuring over 30 jazz greats is held at the Town Hall in New York.
Yeah. Remember that.
Freddie Hubbard, Herbie Hancock.
Wow.
Jack DeJohnette, McCoy, Tyner.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
A great drummer.
My favorite jazz drummer.
Did I pronounce his name right?
You got it.
DeJohnette.
Look at me, DeJohnette. And Grover Washington Jr. are at least a few of the performers. February 26th, 1985, the 27th annual Grammy Awards are presented in Los Angeles, hosted by John Denver. Lionel Richie's Can't Slow Down wins Album of the Year, while Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It wins both Record of the Year and Song of the Year. Cyndi Lauper wins Best New Artist, so the curse didn't really hit her because that was always a kiss of death.
Yep.
That was always a kiss of death.
One and done.
Yep. March 9th of 1985, Tears for Fears album, Songs from the Big Chair, humongous album.
Massive.
Debuts at number 2 on the UK album chart, enjoying massive sales. It spends 29 consecutive weeks on the top 10 and remained on the chart for another 50 weeks until September 1986.
Wow.
So
Nice work.
the Hurting, what was it? The Hurting, Songs from the Big Chair, and Sowing the Seeds of Love. And I've gone through this with people, and they always say, no, what about this? What about that? I could say it's arguably 3 of the biggest albums, like best trio of albums.
Yes.
People forget how big Songs from the Big Chair was.
Yeah.
You know, and all 3 of those albums are great. I mean, if you're a fan like I am, comparatively, you could say they're in the top 5 best trio of 3 albums in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know?
And I like all their albums, but the third one is their peak, I think. Like that was
Sowing the Seeds of Love.
Yeah, that was an epic.
It really was.
Album.
It was a big album. Yeah, it had some great songs on it. But, you know, then they fell into oblivion.
Yep.
And kicked around and then made a nice resurgence a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Good album out.
I was still thinking of that concert the other day, and I was saying, you know, the concerts, they leave that kind of lasting effect once you see it. And, you know, as the dust settles. It's always the greatest concert, and the dust settles, and it fits in somewhere, right? It fits into your list. I can't stop thinking about that Tears for Fears concert, man. And I've seen a lot of concerts, and it was really a fucking great show.
Yeah.
It was really a great show.
I'm lucky. This past year, I had 2 concerts that will go down in my life as 2 of the best I've seen in my life, too.
Yeah.
It's a great when you see a show like that. It just lives, you wish you were back there, you know, you didn't want to go home, and
Yep.
And the stellar show, a lot of shows I've seen, they were good. You know, like, you know, Rush was great, but when you see something that's better than other things too.
What's a standout for you, Lou?
Well, I mean, my first concert was a Springsteen show in a theater. That was a standout.
What year?
1976.
Wow.
July 25th.
What were you, 27 then?
I was about 28. Actually.
No, you weren't. Really?
No, I was 15. I was 15. Jesus,
So,
really, man?
You got me. Well, you threw that right back in my face. I was only kidding. I'm like, and the numbers just didn't start adding up. I was only joking, but I'm like, is he that fucking old?
I'm like,
He's just like, you're my age, right? They're in there around. I'm like, 25, what? Yeah.
It was a great show. It was loud. It was like a changing thing. You're like, holy shit, that's fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
Camper von Beethoven, I saw with Perry at the Ritz in New York. That was just one of those shows. It was a club show, but you're like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. You know?
Wow. All right.
You know what's cool about the Tears for Fears other bands? Like, how many bands that, like, from the beginning had, from album 1 to 3, had 3 great records? There was a slump, the second, the sophomore slump, or the third album slump. You know, even Springsteen, you know, his first 2 records, nothing. Third record, boom.
Yeah.
But you know, besides like the Beatles or things like that, are a bit.
So they're up there with like U2, the Police,
Dire Straits.
Right? Dire Straits.
Those first 3 records are fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Prince. Well, you know what? Prince's first album did not really.
It didn't register so much.
No, it didn't really. No.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you put them in there and you just say, you're right, Lou. That's 3 pretty solid albums to start your career off with.
And I think for any artist, I mean, like, how many songs do you have? How many great songs are in you? You know, I mean, to be realistic, you know, so the fact that, you know, their first 3 records are kind of what they're really known for. They said they had the Oblivion period, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a great accomplishment for any band or any artist. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do to maintain that level, you know, and not either burn or say, the next record is not going to be as great as that, you know? Well,
then they broke up, right?
Did they?
They broke up, and then what's his name?
Roland Orzabal.
Roland Orzabal carried the name, and I saw an interview with them, and they said, "How did you get the name?" He said, "Well, I'm the only one that wanted to really do it, keep doing it." Kurt Smith was like, "I'm just done with this. Like, you can have Tears for Fears, right?" And then they come back with a big album.
The last album was good.
Really good album.
You know what's cool about them? I think Roland said that when he first met Kurt Smith, he heard Kurt singing to a Blue Oyster Cult song.
I
don't know what the song was. I'd love to know what the song was.
I saw a video recently of it says Tears for Fears' first band, and it was this really campy 80s, like lousy British 80s music, and you just don't see it. Like they were young, and they're in this big, everyone's jumping around, dancing around, and then like just go to like the Hurting. Like, where did you guys grow? Like you grew up pretty fucking fast, because that's mature music. Like the Hurting is not pop music,
right?
You know, it's really serious music.
I think they might have been influenced by some kind of book. I read an article with them that said that they were both the second youngest in their families. And they think there was something about the second youngest kids tend to do something, did it, or I'm the second youngest of mine, actually.
And what did you ever do, Lou? Does Lou get that? What did you ever do, Lou?
Oh, absolutely. You kidding me?
No, you didn't. Get out of here.
You're a bum.
Now you're making me feel bad. That's
really,
the second time I said something and he's like, I agree.
I've done a lot.
I know you have.
You know, and I think the thing with Tears for Fears, just like you too, they were bands that came into their first album learning their craft and starting to write, and they had something. Other bands, and most bands have this, where they have 10 years to write that first album.
Yeah.
They blow their load on the first album, and they go, holy shit, we got a second album to do, and that's the sophomore slump. But bands like Tears for Fears, they were developing their craft, and they had that rise. Some bands have it before they have their first album out. So I think it's and you too, you can hear the progression from album to album.
But yeah. But if you listen to U2's first album, then you listen to what's the third album, right? Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
It is.
That's a big jump. But if you listen to The Hurting, then you listen to songs from The Big Chair, it's still a level above the average first album that a band puts out.
Well, what songs are on The Hurting?
Mad World. It's a Mad World. What else?
That's a Kurt Smith song, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a very dark album. It's not a happy go. They've always had darker tones, but they became in a way more pop with the next two albums. Like the first album wasn't going to be huge in America. The cover of it shows a little kid crying. It's about bad experiences as a youth. As a little kid, people that have.
It's tough being the second youngest in your family.
Oh God!
So it has Mad World on it. The Hurting is a good song. That's the lead song.
Yes.
Pale Shelter, Suffer the Children, Change.
Okay. Yep.
Change.
That was a dance club hit, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, what wasn't a dance hit in the 80s, really?
Right.
We heard them all there.
I heard it all, yeah. So, I mean, it has solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 songs.
Yeah.
Solid
Mm-hmm.
for a first album. And what did we always say? Or at least I know I always say it is when you bought an album, we forgot about it over the years, but you had to sometimes sit through songs you don't like.
Yep.
Unless you want to get up and move that needle. Take that time. Whereas the beauty of cassettes eliminated that.
Yeah.
And then CDs made it even easier.
Yep. Program it.
Oh. Let's see. March 27th, 1985. The South African Broadcasting Corporation bans Stevie Wonder's music in response to Wonder dedicating the Oscar he had won the night before to Nelson Mandela. There you go. Way to lose a country, Stevie. Way to lose a country.
Well, I think at that time
the record company just went
seriously out of favor.
Fuck. What's that?
They were serious. That country was seriously out of favor for that at that point.
Yeah.
Only Queen and Black Sabbath were playing there.
Well, do you remember Steve Van Zant's
Sun City? Yeah.
Sun City. Yeah.
Horrible song.
It's not a good. It's really not a good.
Horrible song.
It's like artistically, it's really not a good song.
No, horrible song.
Yeah. Not even
Horrible.
Bruce is good in it.
No. Ain't gonna play Sun City. Like, you could have done it. Yeah, the na-nas thing. Yeah.
Right.
Ain't gonna play Sun City.
And that's a part of Bruce's music I don't really like either. That's that Gary U.S. Bonds thing.
Yeah.
Na. It goes on too long. Not a good song, no. Either is We Are the World. Was that
right.
the same? Was that the same year?
That's it. A lot of those songs that raise money they're not that good, but you get a lot of people on it. Band-Aid was the only one of that genre that I liked. Do They Know It's Christmas? We won't go into the lyrics with Scott on that one.
Stupid lyrics. Stupid
Where's
lyrics.
Jack? Where's Jack? Back me up, Jack.
Jack almost made it on the show tonight. He almost made it on the show. He said he came home to a house full of people. He must be a mafia boss or something now.
It's Labor Day weekend.
I'm watching this great show on Netflix called Suburra. Right, it takes place in Italy. It takes place in Rome. It's like gangsters type thing, and you got the gypsies. You got the gypsies family.
Yep.
And it's like every scene at the gypsy house, like the head of the family, the whole thing. There's got to be 50 people, kids, people, everywhere. They're everywhere, all over the living room, in the courtyard. And I'm like, Jesus, I'd hate to be a gypsy.
And they have no birth certificates.
They have no birth certificate. And it was like, it's not gypsy anymore. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You know what the gypsy clan name in North Jersey is?
What?
The last name? Bimbo.
Is it really?
Yes.
Did they make the toast? Bimbo toast?
No, that's a whole different thing. That's a Latin bakery.
Oh, it's
yeah.
But in North Jersey, the gypsy clans, the predominant last name is Bimbo.
There you go.
There's a lot of bimbos in North Jersey. But,
Bimbo Baggins? Is that a porn?
Pretty much.
Hairy feet.
March 28th, 1985, a wax likeness of Michael Jackson is unveiled at Madame Tussauds in London. Let's move to April 1st. After months of squabbling, David Lee Roth leaves Van Halen to begin a solo career. Right? April 1st, 1985. April 7th.
That was a big split.
It was. That was a big split.
It was big.
Yeah. He rode the wave for a minute. He rode the wave for a minute.
Those first two albums.
Yeah.
I think Eat 'Em and Smile is a better record than 5150. In my
his
opinion.
videos, right? He had the two the brothers there. He played the fat guy.
Oh my god,
the Italian brothers, right? The hair on. There was actually a movie development plan for those characters.
Why not?
And it fell through probably because David Lee Roth, his ego and his big fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure, that got in the way.
Shot himself in the foot, probably.
Yep, could have made a lot of money because people would have went to see it.
They were funny. I forgot. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Hey,
yeah.
You know.
Wait, I'm offended.
April 7th, 1985. Wham! I'm offended. Get the fuck out of here.
Lou, don't be a stew nut.
Get
Come on.
the fuck out of
More
here.
Italian stereotyping, you know?
What are you doing?
Forget about
Italians. What
They got oceans in Chicago, Bill.
Ocean.
offensive
Big
right
ocean. I didn't know there was an ocean in Chicago. April 7th, 1985. Wham! Becomes the first Western pop group to perform in China when they played a concert in Beijing's Workers' Stadium during a historic 10-day visit. April 10th, the queen of the 80s, Madonna, begins her very first tour, the Virgin Tour, in Seattle, Washington. Yeah.
Who was the first in at the first concert? Oh, that was bad.
Ooh.
Lou, should I? No, not yet. Not yet. We've been on a good roll. He'll stay east.
Okay, yeah.
The ref is gonna overlook a lot of stuff. They're gonna let him play. They look
Objection
like they're gonna
sustained.
let him play tonight, folks.
This is like a
They're gonna let
Premier
him
League
play.
game. We got a bad ref. Okay,
Yeah, we gotta let him play tonight. They're letting him play. Let's see. April 20th, 1985. Tears for Fears single "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" becomes their highest charting single in the UK as it reached number 2 on the singles chart. Held off the top position for 2 consecutive weeks by, God damn it, We Are the World.
Yeah.
They were poised. And We Are the World just stopped them cold in their tracks.
There's a choice we're making.
Yeah.
We are the world.
Oh, boy.
It's bad.
Yeah. Let's see. In May, a Russian singer, Valery Leontiev, starts a 10-day tour, Alone with All, and it becomes an instant hit. Cues the tickets for Block the Traffic, whatever the hell that. Who cares? May 4th, with La Dette Swing and Bobby Sox. Norway, I don't care about that. I didn't, as you could tell, I did not pre-read this. So
Editing.
Good prep.
Yeah.
Good prep, Scott.
I'll just move along. I'll move along. I'll get that out in editing. I'll get it out in editing.
Edit it.
I'll edit it. Yeah. May 13th, 1985, in this year in music, Dire Straits releases their 5th studio album.
Brothers in Arms.
There you go.
Great record.
The album becomes highly successful in part because of its unusually high sound quality.
Yes.
The result of it being recorded entirely digitally as opposed to with standard analog magnetic tape. Okay, engineer guy. Right? Was it really noticeable?
Yes.
It was crisp.
It really was. In fact, that was when I went to Sam Ash Music to buy equipment, and some guy goes, "Hey, want to hear something?" In the sound booth, he put Money for Nothing on. All these pro speakers, and it was amazing. The sound clarity. It sounded warm though. It didn't sound cold. It didn't sound harsh or metallic.
And you combine it with the new CD format, so it sounded extra good.
Yeah.
And it just shot. It helped get CDs popular because it was a good way to show. Wow, this sounds great.
All right. The album additionally serves as a killer app for the compact disc format, becoming the first album to sell more copies on CD than on phonograph record. It goes on to become the highest selling album of the 80s in the UK.
Oh, wow. Wow.
June 11th, Madonna ends the Virgin Tour at Madison Square Garden in New York. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to.
Who was the last one out?
Oh, jeez. Way to finish the joke, brother.
No.
Oh, Lou was ready. I was ready, Lou. I was ready. He was ready to do it.
Oh, I did.
But I give him credit because he brought the joke full circle.
No, he did. It's just true.
A lot of people don't know how to do that. Mark brought the joke full circle.
Totally.
And both jokes sucked, by the way. So.
No, they did. I'm still getting over my virus, but I'm able to have my wine. So.
All right. Oh, I tell you to wear the fucking mask while you did the show.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
And I'm working on
get tested tomorrow, Lou.
Let me get it through the headphones.
Looks like we got to get tested. I'm out of penicillin, anyways. Well, no, not for that test.
Penicillin.
And I'm actually allergic to that shit.
So was my father.
Yeah,
Highly allergic.
yeah. July 13th, 1985. Big day in music.
Live Aid.
Yep. The Live Aid concert takes place in Wembley Stadium, London, and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. My friend Phil Kelly, friend of the show, my brother Phil Kelly, he said, "Is that the biggest concert ever?" Because it was viewed all over the world, right?
It if not, it's one of the two. It was huge.
Rio did have 1.3 million people.
Well, if you count who's watching, it was the biggest concert ever.
Right.
Yeah, but worldwide. It'd be cool to know the numbers.
The headlining acts at the latter venue, meaning JFK, include a Led Zeppelin reunion, the first since their 1980 disbandment. The former venue, however, becomes the more notable of the two over the years, in part due to the high acclaim of Queen's performance of Radio Gaga, which serves as the band's comeback in the UK. Queen still remain a pariah in the United States in the wake of Hot Space until after Freddie Mercury's death. And we had talked about that. Jack and I had mentioned that Queen wasn't as big as people think they were at the end.
No, and I loved them.
That.
And I loved them, and there were very few people in the United States that they put out the Miracle album, and I'm telling you, like, who? Queen? Like, they weren't big here.
Yeah. And as everybody knows from that decade, with a little help from the British Concorde jet, that does not exist anymore, singer Phil Collins manages to perform at both venues. To be the last time Duran Duran would perform together with the original lineup.
Wow.
Until they reunite in 2004 with their album Astronaut. On this day, they would also have the #1 song in the U.S. Billboard charts with their James Bond theme to A View to a Kill. That is a good James Bond song.
I love the movie, and I love that song.
Yeah, both.
It was also a soundtrack.
Yeah. Phil Kelly was telling me, he said he and a bunch of friends of mine, they went to the JFK show, and the day before, Phil had gashed his hand open on a fence. He was climbing a fence somewhere in Boston, probably getting away from something, whatever illegal event he was doing. Goes to the doctor, gets a stitch, gets the bandage on it, and the doctor says, all right, come back tomorrow. We want to relook at it. And he goes, I'm going to see Live Aid, so I'm not coming back. And the doctor's like, well, that's on you. So he goes to Live Aid, and they're down, evidently, around the front of the stadium because it was a scorcher that day.
Yeah.
And they were spraying the crowd down with fire hoses, right? So his bandage gets soaked. Not good for a fresh cut, right?
No.
So he decides to go to the first aid station in the bowels of JFK, right? I think he had to even go below the fucking jail there to get to that place, right? The bowels of JFK.
Nice sterile area.
He gets his bandage fixed by some 72-year-old nurse smoking Camel cigarettes, right? While she's changing it, right? And there's a voice like Marge Simpson's sister.
What'd you do to your hand?
You cut your hand. This
Yeah,
old Philly Italian lady. Right?
Your hand looks like my breasts.
Chain smoking Camels and fixing stitches, right? About as sterile as a fucking Subway bathroom, and I'm not talking about the sub shop, right? But he gets it fixed, and then what does he do? He buys sandwiches. He bought sandwiches for everybody and brought sandwiches back.
That's great.
Not beers.
Sandwiches.
He bought sandwiches. Yeah. The JFK sold sandwiches. What kind of fucking sandwiches are they selling?
What are they? Yeah.
In the bowels of JFK.
Old tuna salad.
I think, on a hot summer day.
Yeah.
Tuna sandwiches on a hot summer day in JFK Stadium in Philadelphia.
In July.
Right? And the sandwich station evidently was right next to the first aid station. So,
Better eat it quick.
Yeah. And that was run by an old Italian lady smoking Camels.
As it should be.
Like all old Italian women do.
No, they don't.
You want a tuna or an egg salad? Which one do you want?
Go have a capricola. Have an Italian hero.
You haven't called me.
Yeah. So he buys sandwiches. That's the end of the story. Like, that's like the Prince, the true Hollywood story with Charlie Murphy. He goes, then we go to Prince's house, we play basketball and everything. And the climax is, then he served us pancakes.
Nice.
Pancakes.
Listen. That old lady may have saved his hand, though.
She probably saved his hand.
Yeah.
It probably has some ashes in it.
Kind of cauterizes the wound, Yeah.
Kinda. The long ash hanging from the end of the cigarette. Right?
And then she makes the sandwich with the ashes.
It's in her mouth while she's talking, too.
Yeah. Funny, the scar ended up like the Phillies P on their hats. How did she do that?
She cut him. She cut him further.
Yeah. He was trashed, so he probably didn't feel it anyways. Let's see. Enough about that. September 6th, Michael Jackson purchases the publishing rights for most of the Beatles' music for $47 million.
Yeah.
Much to the dismay of Paul McCartney, against who he was bidding, who also gave him advice on buy the catalogs. That's where the money is.
Buddy Holly. Yeah. Paul had no objection to leasing Every Day to Martha Stewart from the Buddy Holly catalog, but don't mess with the Beatles.
Yeah. Well,
didn't they write that song Ebony versus Ivory?
Ebony versus Ivory? Wasn't that the summer of 2020?
I don't get it.
Here we go again.
I don't get it.
Am I on Milk Crates or am I on that other show you do?
Jesus Christ.
I had time to clean my glasses. I think I got on the wrong website here.
Mark, can I do it? There you go again.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Oh shit, I'm on with Scott and Lou. I thought I was on.
I was on with the votes. I was on with the votes. Oh shit. Okay. All right, moving on.
I'm like, Kurtz, don't do this to me.
September 19th, the Parents Music Resource Center, United States Senate hearing on rock censorship begins in Washington, D.C. Heavy metal singer Dee Snider. He made such an impression.
Yeah.
At that thing, like he's absolutely will be. It'll be part of his when he dies and somebody reads his eulogy. That is a big part. That put him on the map, really.
Yep.
He went in there and he ripped them.
It's because Twisted Sister were more like a regional success at that point. They weren't super nationwide huge.
Oh, they were so big in the tri-state area.
Oh God,
well, they were big because of the videos. Absolutely. The videos made them big, but
Yeah.
Frank Zappa also talked, and country singer John Denver also spoke. September 22nd.
By the way, just a note, that little sticker that they ended up doing was a sure way to sell an extra 10,000 copies.
Yeah.
Like they didn't realize that they fucked that one up. Like, if you put that sticker on, everyone's going to buy it.
That was the beginning of that. Bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to hear it now.
Yep.
Right?
Chipper Gornight, share a birthday.
Let's see.
Have you called her?
In a while.
September 22nd, 1985, the Farm Aid concert. So right on the heels of Live Aid, Farm Aid concert is held in Champaign, Illinois. Let me see.
I think that's where Sammy Hagar came out and jammed with Eddie Van Halen and said, we're going to do something together. Something like that.
Really?
And he dropped the F-bomb and he screwed everything up. He said, because the thing was on regular TV. And, Sammy, he can't hold it. He says, we're going to fucking whatever. And then Eddie came out and played with him. And that was the first time they played together. But it wasn't shown on TV or something because he screwed up. Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Let me see. October 26th, 1985. Saving All My Love for You by Whitney Houston tops the Billboard Hot 100.
I like that song.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was her first.
I remember the video.
Yeah, yep. I mean, the video. Every song had to have a video, right? Back then. I mean, right in the middle of it. 85 is like right in the middle of it.
Isn't she wearing a turtleneck in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. She looked like I tell my wife, you look good in a trash bag. I don't care what you say.
Real nice, real classy, Scott. Hey, you look good in a trash bag.
So I shouldn't have got her a trash bag for her birthday?
Oh.
With some arms cut in it?
Okay.
Try it on, baby.
What about
Try
the head
it
part?
on.
That's
Do
called
your
a
best, Wendy O. Williams.
That's called an Italian burqa.
You, man. Hey.
Give it. Lou,
He's
Do it.
spoiling my
do?
people.
What's the thumb, Lou? Thumbs. Uh-oh. He's in the penalty box. He made it.
Thank you.
Call the trash bag the Italian burqa. Whoa.
Man.
Oh, wait, I said it. I go in the penalty box.
Oh, my God. No, because he thinks all Italians are in the garbage removal business. Some of us are in the removal business, but it's not necessarily garbage. Like if you got a stone in your shoe, I can get rid of it. I can make a phone call. If you got a thorn in your side, we can get that removed too. I think Scott and Mark need to come back on here real quick. Anyway, 1985 was a great year.
Italians are a great part of our society. They gave us music.
Lou flying solo for 30 seconds.
Scared, man.
I could be
Flying
itchy.
solo live. All right, let's see. December 5th. We're getting there. December 5th, 1985. The first fully digital reggae single. Wayne Smith's Under Me, Slang Tang, whatever the hell that means, is recorded at Prince Jammy's studio.
Wonder how it sounded.
Yeah, it is the beginning of raga style reggae.
Fake
Okay.
drums.
You said Prince's studio?
No, Prince Jammy's.
Prince Jammy. Okay.
Like what Mark wears tonight at night
say,
to bed.
I can picture him wearing some Prince
Mark
pajamas
puts his
on.
jammies on.
He puts
No,
little
I got
jammies
the
on.
tuxedo jammies. Come on.
He had to put on his jammies. Go night night.
His little Princey jammies.
He's had a little wine. He puts his jammies on, and he goes night night.
I watched the Italian bike racing.
Stop.
No, he
Live
can't
from Italy.
see. He's trying to get out of it. He's trying to deflect. Okay.
No.
All right. The thumb was there.
I'm in such severe pain right now. I just let you do anything. Go for it. Just say what you want.
I know how you
Mark is
feel, Mark.
fighting his way through this.
Sciatica sucks.
Get to do a
Oh,
chiropractor.
God, trust me, I know, buddy.
I know too. I know too.
Let's do a podcast on sciatica.
Oh. Okay.
We'll tell fucking miserable stories
When
about
you feel
sciatica. We'll tell sciatica stories.
And you
we'll
gotta
try
play
to
like
top
a
each other.
When I have
whining,
it-
buzzing sound in the background. You know.
When I have it, it feels like my right foot is turned the other way around.
Ooh.
All
And I
right,
can't. I'm like trying to. It's just horrible.
I was only kidding about the sciatica stories, gentlemen.
I gotta.
I
Sorry.
was only kidding.
This is for myself.
Lou puts himself in the penalty box. Here we go.
When I smoke my Camels, I get sciatica.
When I smoke the camels make me feel better.
Get
All
him
right,
out.
Lou only gets 15 seconds.
He wanted to go to the bathroom. That's why.
You want? Yeah. Okay. Then there was this one that everybody remembers. It grew up in the 80s. I posted a meme today. It says, "Born in the 60s, raised in the 70s, partied all 80s."
Fucking A.
That was a good fucking time.
It was a
We were born
decadent.
at the
Decade.
right
It was a
time.
decadent decade, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was the
It was.
greatest decade, man.
Mark was a young child, I think.
In
Mark, were you
'85,
in
I
high
was
school?
a sophomore in high school.
You're in high school. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were a
Scott and I-
sophomore in
Scott and I
high
were out
school.
in the world.
I was in my starting, I think, my second year of college, right? Where I had to commute because they kicked me out of the dorms.
I wonder
You
why.
got to be pretty fucking bad.
Did you kick somebody in the head?
No, I didn't do that. No. Well, considering the college I went to, Newbury College out in Holliston, Mass, was like 80%, 85% girls.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
So they had apartment complexes. That's like and they just said, you can't stay here anymore.
Yeah.
They really did say, you're not welcome back. You're not welcome back here. Your last name was not Carter. You're not welcome. So I had to commute Anyway. We remember this one, December 23rd. This is sad. It was a very sad day. But I think in 85, to be honest with you, I think my reaction probably was fucking idiots. But 2 young fans of Judas Priest in Sparks, Nevada shoot themselves.
Yeah.
One fatally after listening to the band's records. A lawsuit is brought against the group in 1986, claiming that they were compelled by backwoods subliminal messages hidden in their music. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't one of them...
Tipper Gore was right.
Yeah, Tipper.
Put some
Right.
stickers on those albums.
She was probably saying, see?
See? Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I think I saw a picture of the one that survived. He had no bottom jaw. I mean...
He had no bottom jaw. It was horrible.
Man.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Tipper Gore turned into the frog. I'm the frog, see? See? You see? I told you,
my
you
baby.
see?
Hello, my mammy. Hello,
Yes.
my Mac.
You see? You see, I told you about them stickers, you see? I'm the frog, you see? Let's see. And ending the year of 1985 in music. December 31st, the 14th annual New Year's Rockin' Eve special is aired on ABC television with appearances by the Four Tops, the Judds, Barry Manilow, the Motels, Tears for Fears, and the Temptations. I should have had a job in TV.
Yeah.
Really?
Would've been a
Ryan
good
Seacrest
announcer.
has nothing on you.
I'd kill that little bitch. I'd slap him. I'd take his job, take his seat.
Yeah, he
I
got a
wouldn't
good
fit
kick.
in the little tiny
his lunch.
seat, but I'd get a bigger seat. I'd get Whoopi's seat. That's big enough. That's actually too big for me, too. How big must her fucking seat be on that show? She's got to have 2 fucking stools under that ass. One for each cheek. Because she's mammoth
Lord.
now. Talk about wearing Italian burkas. A trash bag won't even fit over her. Like she's literally wearing king-size sheets for
Wait,
clothes.
who are you talking about?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that was
She's-
bad. That was
Well,
horrible.
she is. She's literally wearing king-size
sheets.
sheets for clothing.
Can we put Scott in the green room?
Not a full size, not a
Nah,
queen size, but a
she's
king
got to wear
size sheet.
king size, yeah. And her
Comes with
ankles
age.
must be screaming when she's walking out of that studio.
So wearing those Irish burkas. Yeah.
No. You can't steal a
Oh, no,
joke.
my
You
screen.
can't steal
I,
a joke. Lou.
As someone who has
Yeah,
swollen
my
ankles
screen's
from
gone
being
dark.
fat, I know how it feels.
But she's not. You fit on one stool. This fat, then
barely.
there's Whoopi Goldberg fat. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. And that was it for the.
Whoop ass on you.
Yeah. I'd kick Whoopi Goldberg's ass.
Ah,
Both of them.
Lou, what do you
I'd
think?
have to
I
kick
don't
both of them.
know. That's not a
She-
sure bet there.
She can sumo my ass, that's for sure. Sumo!
She might be pissed off enough to do it, I think.
Let's see. Also in 1985, not listed in the list above, several. Here you go. I come into Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, well, Whoopi in her king-size clothing. Yeah. Several hundreds of thousands. The AI is in. Perry Dedovich.
Hey.
Oh,
He
yeah.
says, hey, Al Pacino, A Dog Day Afternoon. Sciatica. Perry goes in the penalty box. Somehow I'll put him in the penalty box. He gets the. That's what the AI gets.
Come on, Perry, I'm back.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it. Come on.
Wait, what wasn't that John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever?
What's that?
Attica. Yeah.
When he's in the mirror,
Oh,
he's
he
doing
was
his hair, he's
mimicking
like,
Al Pacino
Al
in Dog Day
Pacino.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Right.
What does Marie Martin says? Whoppy or Whoopi? Yes.
Oh,
Can we put her in the penalty box? I'm
2 in a row. This
I
show
don't
is
know if I can
taking
handle
a
this
dive.
one. Yeah.
I started it.
The Italian American people are getting
This place is
slurred
getting
mightily.
lower than the first aid station at JFK in 1985. JFK Stadium.
Hey,
There's
Hey, Louie, get us
nasty.
some cannolis, please. We're
the
hungry.
prison. There's the first.
I got your cannoli right
there's
here.
the jail. There's the first aid station, and there's this episode of Milk Crates and Turntables. we're literally
How low
we're
can you
underneath it.
It's Limbo Rock.
We got to bounce back. Also in 1985, back to the show. Several hundreds of thousands of US dollars in publishing royalties are released to the surviving members and families of the deceased members of the British music group Badfinger. The two band members, Peter Ham and Tom Evans, previously committed suicide due to financial problems. I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. They consider them part of they called it the Apple curse. They were on Apple Records.
And they sounded like the Beatles and the whole thing.
A lot of ways they did. Yeah.
Wow.
They were
What's
good,
the
though.
Apple curse? Could you expound on that?
Things that came their way never saw fruition. Bad luck, misfortune. They said part of that was the Beatles. Mal Evans, I think he was one of the original road managers. He played some like little additional instruments. He's the anvil on Maxwell Silverhammer. He was shot to death in Los Angeles, some domestic thing, and his ashes were lost. It's just like
that would be my luck. Where's Mark's ashes?
And
I don't know.
Lennon could be an asshole because Lennon said he said they probably ended up in the dead letter office.
Man.
That's pretty shitty. Because that guy was your road.
Doesn't mean he liked him.
I think he did. He was a faithful Mal Evans.
John Lennon was very sarcastic.
Yes,
he's very sarcastic. He dry humor, and sometimes it doesn't go over well. Kind of like my humor. Sometimes it just doesn't go over well.
Yeah. Ask Whoopi Goldberg.
What's that? Wop, wop, wop.
Oh wait, I'm Irish. I can't do this.
Wop, 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 wop.
Wait, what did the Irish do? This is the Irish version. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Metal Edge magazine is launched in 1985.
I used to buy that.
Did you really?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Roger Waters announces.
Wasn't the 80s a decade of metal?
Ask me about it anytime you want. I was a metalhead.
So let me finish this and give us a little rundown on metal. So get ready, buddy. You're about to have your own segment, right?
No.
Oh, what you did, Lou? Did he not just invite us to ask me anything about metal?
You gotta be more specific and tell me to prepare.
Perry Dedovich, the AI, says Mal Evans got Badfinger signed to Apple.
Oh. Okay.
So it sounds more like a Badfinger curse than an Apple curse.
Maybe.
You know? Roger Waters announces his intention to leave Pink Floyd, describing the band as a spent force creatively. Such an asshole.
I love him.
Wasn't he the main?
Absolutely. When you get these people that say the Wall wouldn't have happened without David Gilmour, you wouldn't have had Comfortably Numb, you wouldn't have had a couple. Roger Waters wrote all that. Don't start me.
But isn't he?
No, I mean, so
he was a bit
isn't he kind of a pompous asshole?
He was a bit of an asshole to say they've spent, because he should have just said, "I don't want to work with these guys. I want to go solo." He should have said that.
Was he jealous of Gilmour?
Nah. You know what? Gilmour put it perfect. People have begged them to get back together. They did for that Live 8. That was it. And Gilmour said, David Gilmour said, when you get divorced, you may see your ex-wife around and smile and say hi, but you'll never be back together. So what it was is those two just had a divorce and they could never work together again.
Yeah.
And they both have egos, both of them, So
one is Gilmour is a little more reserved.
Depends. Yeah, he's reserved. So. I think his wife is the one that makes more trouble than him.
Well, she speaks her mind. She says probably what he says at home. She says it on X, formerly known as Twitter.
When he's had a few scotches, yeah.
She loves calling him a racist and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Roger Waters, yeah. Well, she writes the lyrics for Pink Floyd.
God, just stop it.
Yeah, I think so. But something like Pink Floyd would not have been the modern day Pink Floyd without.
That's true.
Correct.
As a guy that's in the Roger Waters camp, and I love all his solo albums, those Pink Floyd albums that David Gilmour headed are just as good to me.
Yes.
They sound awesome. Momentary Lapse of Reason, which is right around 85, 86, 87. Yep. Great albums.
Yeah.
Great albums. So
Roger Waters ripped the lyrics.
Yeah, he did.
He ripped the lyrics.
Yeah. So let's see.
I think he said I could drink a can of alphabet soup and shit out.
I thought that was Billy Joel.
Did Billy Joel say that?
There was some country singer
That's
said
actually pretty good.
about something. I think Perry could probably give us the answer to that. I thought that's really clever.
I love it.
After he said it was a spent force creatively, he would spend the next 2 years in a legal battle with his now former bandmates over the rights to the Pink Floyd name and other associated assets. Do you really think he needed the name though at that point?
He wanted the pig back.
Is that what he wanted?
The giant
but they both got
pig.
the pig.
I think he wanted
they
the
both
pig.
got it.
Did they?
Yeah.
They split custody.
Did they split the
joint
pig?
custody of the pig. I'm going on tour now. It's my
Joint
pig.
custody. I have the pig
And
every other
there's
weekend.
some judge somewhere in fucking Britain going, this fucking pig decision again.
I think
Because
judges.
they all have to go to the judge to find out who gets the pig for that.
I think
tour.
judges hate all these bands that come to court. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Queensryche. We just recently
Yeah,
had two
really.
Queensryches,
Yeah.
Roger Waters' side of
Settle
it
it,
was, and
children.
I'll say this, he was in Pink Floyd from the beginning with Syd Barrett. David Gilmour came in later, but David Gilmour was also very good friends with Syd Barrett. He grew up with him. And I think that Syd Barrett created something like they both said, I was close to Syd. They were both close to Syd. They both loved him. And I think it just drove a wedge between them, really,
Well,
Well, thank God they stuck it out at
so
first.
you're saying the impact of Syd Barrett carried through even still to the latter days of
Yeah.
Pink Floyd?
Yeah. Well, Wish You Were Here was pretty much a lot about him,
Well,
but no,
yeah,
right up
but,
until,
going further along.
I mean, he basically, the theme of Pink Floyd's lyrics became World War II, but you always see some of these lyrics, like they're subconsciously, I think Syd was in a lot of both their lyrics, both of them.
Well,
They have a lot of loneliness in their lyrics, David and Roger, and a lot of intoning, you're not in your right mind. There's a lot of lyrics about going crazy. And I think that just harkens back. It's Syd had a big effect on that band after he had his breakdown.
wasn't the reference on Dark Side of the Moon, the lunatic is in the grass? Wasn't that a reference to
I heard
a reference to Syd Barrett?
Shine on You Crazy Diamond.
Shine on,
Crazy
yeah.
Diamond, yeah.
Lunatic on that one referred to the media because the lunatic is on your grass. It was newspapers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
paparazzi. There we go, knocking the Italians again.
I didn't say anything.
Paparazzi.
Garbage bags. Lego.
Well, because
Here we
we're on
go
the
again.
garbage removal business.
Here
right?
we go again.
Yeah.
Lou, we'll talk tomorrow.
So
No, we won't.
I have no, we won't.
Because you won't be alive, Mark.
Yeah, no, we won't.
There we go.
Bands that formed in
Uncle Sally.
1985. There's a little bit. Arcadia. Right?
I forgot about them.
Supergroup.
Yeah, well,
Supergroup?
yeah, you had.
Duran Duran and
I
who?
think it was just Simon. It was a couple guys from Duran
Bass
Duran.
player,
and,
John Taylor.
Yeah.
Simon and Nick.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it was really like a super group. I think it was an offshoot, and they just brought in some other.
Wow.
A lead guitarist, right? Is that who? What's his name? Andy Taylor, right?
Andy
was the lead
Taylor?
guitarist.
He was the original lead guitarist.
Yeah,
By
so
the
I
way,
think-
he's
Duran
in
Duran.
bad shape. He has,
Yeah, I know. Stage
yeah.
4, but he went for some treatment recently in Germany that they said is kind of really kind of helping him.
He's still alive. We heard
He
about
is.
it almost a
Yeah.
year ago. So
Yeah.
Good.
Uh,
Can't get that here.
Arcadia brought in. Well, let's see something. Let me see. Arcadia.
Simon Le Bon.
Roger Taylor, as a side project during the break in the band schedule.
and Nick Rhodes.
Here's
Yep,
the
and
drummer,
Nick
wasn't
Rhodes, the keyboardist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hip hop group Boogie Down Productions was formed
Yeah.
in 1985
Oh, wow.
with KRS-One.
We made those cassettes in Hillsdale at CPI.
Yeah. Another band formed in 1985, Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians, one-hit wonders.
What you want is what you want. I want to get pregnant from Paul Simon. What you want is what you.
So then she can divorce him because she said he
How about
hit
this one?
her or some shit. Like they had a whole thing.
No, I think she
She
beat the
beat him
shit out
up,
of him.
yeah,
That's why he didn't
yeah.
press charges.
Yeah.
She beat that little fuck up.
Jesus.
Scott, did you know I actually urinated on Paul Simon's face once?
Yeah,
This is better than the Bono
no,
balls.
No, please tell me, Lou.
Yeah, this is better than Bono's balls.
I would love to
hear
tell
it.
you.
That's right.
I went to this blues bar in New York City in the 80s. It might have been 85, 86. And I went to the bathroom, so I gotta pee. And I lift up the toilet seat. There's a laminated picture of Paul Simon, and it says "Piss on Paul Simon." So
beautiful.
I did.
I'm not a fan. I was a fan in the 70s of his sing, like, you know. But then when he got into the 80s and that 80s, Graceland album, I just like, you know what? I have no use for him anymore.
I got you, man. I'm not saying it didn't get me.
If Jack was here right now, he'd go, whoa.
I loved.
What did you not like about that?
I loved
Graceland,
and I loved Rhythm of the Saints. But I heard him about 5 years ago, interviewed on NPR. He was so pompous. He talked about himself in third person. That got me.
Yeah.
Did he really?
That's why he talks like this. Paul Simon will continue to
like an old Jewish guy.
Oh, but pompous. I don't like.
Talks like an old Jewish guy.
Do you remember? He has a brother, Eddie Simon. He's a musician. He had this thing called the Guitar Study Center in New York, but he'd do commercials on New York radio, and he sounds just like Paul Simon. This is Eddie Simon with the Guitar Study Center.
Jesus.
You know, is that Paul Simon
trying to capitalize on his brother? Yeah, on his brother.
Probably.
I remember seeing Edie Brickell in the news. So. She does that move in the video where she kind of squats down, right, with her legs crossed, right? So she's on Saturday Night Live and comes to that part of the song and she tries to mimic it and she fucking stumbles.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Live TV.
Yeah, live TV. Saturday Live, #1 show in the country at that hour. Everybody's watching. And she goes that little squat down with the legs and she stumbles. Like she kind of catches herself. Yeah.
Even though they were called the New Bohemians, they were early. I call them early modern hippies.
Yeah.
Like original hippies of the '60s. These were the kids that grew up
like
with
Rusted
parents.
Root. That band, yeah.
They had another small minor hit. Do you remember it?
No.
I quit. I give up. Nobody.
Evidently, it was that minor. I didn't hear about it.
It got some radio play. It says, "I quit. I give up. No one seems to love anybody else. It's true."
Okay.
You know?
We believe you, Lou. Another band formed in '85, Brittany Fox. Remember them?
Yeah.
British band, right?
Yeah.
They were
hair metal.
Yeah. Crowded House formed in '85.
Wow, big time.
And in '87, they would really hit their peak. You know, Song of the Year, Don't Dream It's Over.
Didn't kill them.
No, didn't kill them. Cutting Crew. They were kind of a minor. Yeah. They had some minor hits. They hung around.
Died in Your Arms Tonight.
Yep. That
was
it.
Song.
It was a great. That's a great. I still listen to that song.
Yeah.
You know?
Couldn't it be mixed up with like Johnny Hates Jazz?
I always kind of
period. It's kind of like soulful pop. They were good catchy songs.
But they were formed in '85, right? DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince got together in 1985. Wow. Dream Theater was formed in 1985.
Can I take over the show now?
It's all yours. I was waiting for this moment.
By the way, they formed in Boston.
I saw this and I said, "Oh, here we go."
They formed in Boston, but they're Long Island guys. But they were at Berkeley School of Music that I wanted to go to, and my dad said, "Mark, you'll never make money as a musician." Probably the best thing he ever did. Yeah. Yep. 85. That's a long time ago. They've been together a long time.
Well, tell us a little about Dream Theater.
So they formed with they didn't have the singer they have now. They did an album with that original lead singer. They were like, there were a bunch of us in the 80s that loved metal, but we remembered progressive music from the 70s, like Rush in the LP, but we would love to hear like metal and progressive combined. They were the first band to do that. In fact, when I played their first album, I thought my needle was skipping because the time signatures kept changing, I saw them because their first lead singer quit and they didn't want to stop playing. So they just played instrumental for like a better part of a year. I saw them open for Zebra in Long Island at Bayshore. And they were just incredible. Mike Portnoy, their drummer, he's not with them anymore. Great guy. And
he's the guy that has said, if anyone replaces Neil Peart and Rush, it would be him.
Yeah. And he could do it.
All right. Well, Mark, you're about to take the show over again because also formed in 1985, Emerson, Lake and Powell.
Yeah. I love that album. I always thought Cozy Powell was better with Keith Emerson than Carl Palmer because Cozy Powell was a heavy hitter, and I thought it matched his keyboards.
Well, give us a little background on Cozy Powell.
Well, they were gonna They wanted to reform ELP with Palmer, but Palmer was with Asia, who was big at the time, and he just said, "Guys, I got the contract with Asia. I can't do it." But they wanted to forge ahead, so yeah, they say, "Oh no, we didn't pick Cozy Powell because of the P," but who knows? I saw that.
Fit. Yeah,
I saw that show, and thank God their show at the Meadowlands in New Jersey was early in the tour, because Keith and Greg, just pompous English musicians, right? The show was great. I got to see my hero, Keith Emerson, from fourth row, I think. We're fourth or fifth row, right in front of Keith. And I remember they started one show, and I look over, and Greg's giving Keith the finger. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. They just couldn't stop, At the end of the show, when Keith does their encore, every ELP encore is he wrestles a Hammond organ. He drags it around the stage, sticks knives in it. He went running at it, and he went off the front of the stage. I remember that one. I thought he was dead.
What, a Hammond organ?
He would jump up on top of the Hammond, rock it back and forth, and take daggers out of his belt and just slam them into the keys. I mean, it was like he was doing what Jimi Hendrix did, just with the organ. But they sounded great with Cozy, but the tour lasted 3/4 of the tour. They canceled the rest because Keith and Greg just didn't get along.
Wow.
It's a shame,
What was the big hit from the debut album?
Touch and Go.
Touch and Go.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah. It was all over MTV. Yeah.
I like the Cars Touch and Go better.
Great song.
Good song too.
And it's a country song.
Two different time signatures in that song.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
Well, yeah. Cozy, what was Cozy Powell's last words?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. He crashed his car. He was on the cell phone back when cell phones were new and people didn't realize, don't look down at your cell phone.
Walkie-talkie on his head.
A brick.
Talking to his daughter and went off the road.
No, he was talking to a woman he was having an affair with, a married
woman. No, he was talking to his brother.
No.
I had to throw in something, you guys. I couldn't be left out of that one.
Sorry. He wrecked his car.
Who's telling the truth, people? Who's telling the truth?
Lou knows. Lou's a drummer. He knows about the drummers.
It was a woman. She was estranged from her husband. She was having some kind of trouble. She called him. He was drunk. His blood alcohol, your BAC was way high. He was on the phone. He lost control. The last thing he said was, "Oh shit!" Then he crashed and he died. He's a real journeyman drummer, though. He's on a couple of early Robert Plant records, isn't he?
Yep, and going way back, he played with Jeff Beck.
That's right. Yeah.
Great.
He's a journeyman. Like what's the guy? Tommy Aldridge.
Yeah,
he
played with Rainbow. He played
on
all the first, about 4 Rainbow albums. Yeah, but that's not 1985, so we'll get away from that.
Yeah. Also formed in 1985, Vince Clarke does it again. Vince Clarke from Depeche Mode, who started. He left Depeche Mode. He didn't like the direction the band was going in. They were getting into a little more
too dark.
And he liked that kind of dance, popish type sound. So he forms Yazoo with Alison Moyet, and then they split up. She gets big, goes on her own. Then he starts Erasure with Andy Bell, who sounds just like Alison Moyet. And Erasure goes on to have a number of hits.
When you told me that, I was shocked. Yeah. Somebody from Depeche Mode started Erasure.
Yeah, Andy Clarke. I mean, I don't know how the guy doesn't get recognized for this. Everything he touched was gold.
Scott, when you mentioned Erasure, I went back and listened. I knew all those songs.
Right?
There's some massive hits.
That's what I'm saying.
A string of them.
Yeah. And Andy Bell that voice, that is,
He put himself in the naughty spot.
His screen is actually just an M, so maybe his Mac just updated again.
Oh no.
Anyways, anyways. See, ever since I catch myself saying that now.
I did.
Anyway, I have to say anyway because Jack reprimanded me.
Yeah, but it's part of your jargon.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. The band Extreme from Boston is formed in 85.
Wow.
Who goes on to about 91 with their curse of a song more than words.
More than words.
Yeah.
Which has been parodied.
Yeah.
Jack Black and his partner.
Yep. They actually released a new album recently, and Nino Bettencourt, the guitarist, he's a great guitarist. I mean, they have this kind of look. And I think they've tried to kind of reinvent themselves, but I don't know. In our generation, they'll never escape that More Than Words.
No.
And that wasn't even them. That was just one song that they did acoustically when their whole sound was rock.
Yeah.
They were like hard rocks, music.
Yeah. And he went on to the, I think it's the unlistenable Van Halen record.
Yeah, yeah.
For one out.
For a Japan tour or something, they said they brought him on there.
Did they? Well, yeah, he did the whole, I don't know the name of the album. It might have been just called Van Halen. Mark likes it.
Yeah.
I listened to a couple of songs. I just didn't get it, but I wasn't a big fan of Sammy Hagar either. Yeah.
There was a show on VH1, speaking of VH1, that we started the show off with. It was called Making the Band. No, was it Reuniting the Band or something like that?
Was there one called Making the Band?
Was it Making the Band? It was basically a show where they would get, like, they got Romeo Void. They tried to, and he's back. They got Romeo Void. They got, he's eating a sandwich. Good for you, buddy. That's a pickle. He's eating a pickle.
In honor of Lou.
What kind of pickle you eating, Mark?
Total
Drink
dill pickle. Strong.
Dill.
Fresh.
All right.
Ooh, my breath smells good.
So they would try to get these, they would sometimes get these bands back together, right? And they tried to get Extreme back together, and they found Nino Betancourt at like some cafe, outside, and he was like, I don't want to talk to you. This isn't going to happen. Like, I'm not doing it. Breaking the Band, or I forget what the name of it was, but it was a pretty good series. It was a pretty good series where they would get these bands, like Romeo Void did get back to it for a one-off, and that's how they would say it. It's just a one-off show at this club. That's it. We're not asking for anything else. Just get back together and play, and you have your fans there, and it was pretty good. It's pretty well done.
That's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That was VH1.
It was VH1. Yeah.
Can these things be found?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'll try to get the name of it. I'll text it to you and see.
Who remembers Romeo Void?
I do.
I do a little bit.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Girl in Trouble. Great song.
Okay. Yeah.
Girl in Trouble is a temporary thing. Very kind of edgy lyrics.
Nuno Betancourt, great guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you were getting your pickle when I said this.
And his favorite Queen album is Hot Space, the album that doomed him in the U.S.
Let's see. Perry says, I saw Romeo Void and Kajagoogoo. Well, there you go. That is an 80s show right there, buddy.
Perry, when did you see that? I've known him since 1986. I've never heard this before.
Don't ever call out an AI. Don't you know that?
Well, we're going to see if he's real or not.
He's going to get into your
computer.
Hey,
Perry, I didn't say that, Perry. I didn't say that.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to wait to see the lie. I mean, his answer.
The producer of the Music Relish Show, by the way.
Oh, is he also the producer?
That's his title, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
By the way, Lou, just so you know, when I went to get my pickle, when you have wine or any alcohol, it's good to drink pickle juice. So I did have a little pickle juice,
I would think the two would be a weird combination, but
it doesn't.
No,
sound
any
right
alcohol, pickle juice is like increases your stamina. I don't, people that,
What? Where are we going with this?
He's making sub references to a certain caller on the show a couple weeks ago, and actually, Perry
the pickle finger.
Yeah.
Oh, my finger.
Dip
Lou.
his fingers in
Like
pickles.
Look
He
at my
wanted to lick
fingers,
them.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The comeback show Scott was talking about. Oh, the one the VH1 show.
Yeah.
Oh, he saw it on
he
VH1.
saw the show. Yeah. The rodeo.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Kajagoogoo. 2 shots.
Yeah.
I know Perry was a big Kajagoogoo fan.
Hey, Perry, if you can Google that while we're on the air, and try, maybe you can't. You're an AI. You should be able to just pull it out of your ass. But what was the name of that show?
I have this image right now.
Extracted, Perry.
Extracted. Why is it taking so long?
Clean it off, please.
Worst AI in the whole internet. Let's see. The hip hop group Gang Starr with Guru and DJ Premier formed.
They were
good.
Yeah.
Listen, let me see. Wine or pickle juice? No fingers in the in the jar. Yeah. So Guru, God rest in peace. He died of like pneumonia.
Wow.
He was young, dude. He was a young guy. he went on to kind of really revolutionize the hip hop, and he did I think it was called Jazzamatazz or something. He did 2 albums with jazz, like legendary jazz players.
Yeah, there was that period where rap and classic jazz, Blue Note Records they did a lot of rap albums, but they did it right because they would have a jazz band back in the rapper. I love that.
Dude, I found the fucking very first rap hit way before Rapper's Delight. I'm fucking telling you.
Early 70s?
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of that?
You know what it was? You know what the name was? Steve Martin, King Tut.
No,
dude, that is a fucking rap song. Born in Arizona, moved to Babylona, King Tut.
Funky Tut.
Right? I'm telling you. That
Steve
was
Cropper.
the first fucking rap song. Prove me wrong.
I thought it was Rappin' Rodney with Rodney Dangerfield.
No, the King Tut came out before that. King Tut is a fucking rap
78.
song.
King Tut.
Yeah. Now, when I was a young boy, right?
Good point.
They played that on 70s on 70 today on satellite radio. I said,
Great song.
I'm listening. You know, it's a fucking rap song. So for the 27 people that will listen to this podcast,
2,700. Come
I'm
on.
telling you, go look, listen to it. It's a fucking rap song. And it charted. It was in like the top 10.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
And when he did it on Saturday Night Live, that was big.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
Steve
huge.
Cropper,
That
they
was
were all, the
hysterical.
band was dressed up like, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the video last night of Joe Cocker on Saturday Night Live.
With
Where
John
Belushi
Belushi next
comes
to him.
out like a minute into the song. It
Classic.
was great.
That
It was great.
He liked it. He said he was really touched.
Yeah.
He said to John, he wasn't offended at all. He said, John.
Well, they set up 2 mics. He knew it was going to. He had the same shirt on. His Joe, same T-shirt.
Yeah.
Said like Star on it or something, and yeah. Also formed in 1985, the Godfathers, one of the big ska bands,
Yeah.
early
Oh,
ska bands in England.
Birth, school, work, death. That was a big hit.
There you go. Ah, good, Lou. Look at that. Check out the brain on Lou.
Lou gets a.
But we're not going to say anything about Italian people, though, right?
No.
Okay.
Also formed in probably the biggest band to form in 1985, Guns N' Roses. Formed in 85. Didn't take them long to shoot to the top.
No.
87 is when their album came out? Appetite? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Were they just local bands before that? Was there
They
any?
were one of those LA bands just working the scene. And then somebody went in there and dug them out, and then all of a sudden they started digging out all these other LA bands.
It's all about the producer. If the producer can do something.
Yeah.
All those LA bands too. They all said this: we rehearsed in an abandoned warehouse. Well, who paid the electricity?
Right. There you
You
go.
know?
Bands Reunited on VH1. There it is. Bands
Yeah.
Reunited.
Hey,
Go
Lou.
check it out, Lou.
AI.
You talk about sons and kids of hippies. Slash really was, right? He was a kid of the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah. His
Mother's. What was it? No, I don't know who his parents are. His father's like a record executive, isn't
Yeah. His mother was.
She made. She was a designer, like Hollywood.
He hung out with a lot of big names when he was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, they used to come over the house. She would design clothes for bands, like outfits for bands and shit like that. So, also formed in 1985, the Irish band Hot House Flowers.
Good band.
Yeah, they were kind of a unique band, man. They had a different sound.
Yep.
And also formed in 85, the Indigo Girls, who actually have a song called Winthrop, Mass, which is about my hometown, Winthrop, Mass. Yeah.
Cool.
One of them used to vacation there. They actually, it's called Winthrop, Mass.
Is that the vacation capital of Massachusetts or something?
No. The Cape Cod would be that.
Okay, I would think.
Yeah. Cape Cod,
Lots of
a.k.a. the
vineyards.
Irish Riviera.
Ah.
Yeah. Bands that disbanded in 1985. The Boca Raton Symphony Orchestra. What did I miss?
Jesus.
If you were living in Boca, they wouldn't have broken.
The Boca Raton Symphony Orchestra broke up in 85.
And the classic world was never the same.
Because
It was never the same again.
Because it was too damn hot to play in tuxedos.
At the same time,
Think about it.
the goddamn Fort Lauderdale Symphony Orchestra broke up too. What was going on in South Florida?
Wow.
The
Florida-
symphony orchestras were breaking up.
Sorry, if I'm coming to Florida, I'm too damn hot to watch classical. I want to be in the cold
Got
north.
AC.
Ah,
It's not like they're playing outdoors in the park.
I like my snow.
No, you don't.
I don't.
You just
yeah.
dodged a hurricane today. You're happy.
I did. The thing didn't even come close to us. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I saw the whole trajectory. Yeah.
They come, I'm telling you, they don't come straight across anymore. I've been saying this for a decade. They come toward us, then they hook up to the Carolinas. Just ask Lou.
Yes,
right?
they do.
Or they come up and under and into the Gulf. They don't come straight across anymore.
Yeah, it's an anomaly if they do come in.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that anymore.
Poor Tom.
Well, he can't get away from it.
As Paris found out when he came here during hurricane season, we got hit a lot of rain. Interesting enough, being in the mountains, but his train, he took the train back to New Jersey, and it was the tracks washed out in like Virginia. So,
nice.
But yeah, he calls it typhoon season here.
And that's when he had my guitar, right? And he was like, I don't know. I said, how's the guitar? Is it okay?
Yeah.
And God bless Perry, he kept that guitar. I still have the Amtrak ticket on it. You know.
There you go.
Nice.
Another band that broke up in 1985. Believe this or not, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show.
They lasted
85.
that long?
They lasted till 85.
They were a hit machine. Mark, do you know where they were from?
England, right?
New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, they're from they're like West Orange or South Orange or somewhere. I thought they were a Southern band.
Yeah.
Wow. I was thinking England. I don't know.
Yeah. They made it 85. The Emotions. The Emotions broke up in 85. So R&B.
Right? Emotions in motion.
Hanoi Rocks. Well, I don't think they were long for what's their lead singer got killed. Thanks, Vince Neil.
It was the drummer, Razzle.
The drummer, yeah. Thanks, Vince Neil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What a dick.
You know?
Fucker.
The Honey Drippers broke up.
I hate Motley Crue. Sorry, go ahead.
The Honey Drippers broke up in 85.
That was like a one-off.
After a year?
Yeah, they started. They were around like 83. Like I think they were around for a little bit, right? As a matter of fact, let me see. I'll give you the exact. Let me see.
Jimmy Page played with them, didn't he?
Well, it was Robert Plant's thing, and on that EP, he had Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page playing on
81. 81.
That was 81?
They started, yeah.
Holy shit.
It was a side thing.
Much later.
Yeah.
Album probably came out in 82, maybe 81, 82.
3, maybe. And then he was going to do more albums, but his solo career took off.
To Perry's disappointment, the AI, to his disappointment, this band broke up in 1985. Kaja Gugu. Jamal got bad advice to go on his own and capitalize on his haircut.
AI tears. Yes, AI tears are falling right now.
Perry had all their album.
Perry had all
the greatest hit. The greatest hit.
Evidently he's not too shy.
Shush.
Yeah. Too shy. Perry's an AI. Too shy. Perry's an AI.
Perry's going to get into your system too. Don't piss off Perry. He's going to get into your computer there.
Give you viruses.
Remember that Jurassic Park with the guy that played Newman when they tried to get in the computer? You're going to get that one day.
Yeah. Also a band that broke up in 1985. The creators of one of the greatest club songs of 85 of the 80s. Gonna take you to Funky Town.
Lips Incorporated.
Gonna take you to Funky Town. Yeah, lip sync.
With two P's, right?
With the vocals from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
that's right.
If you're gonna have a one hit, why not be Funky Town, right?
Yeah.
Short-lived band, super group. The Power Station broke up in 85.
I love them. That was a great album.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that was a good album.
Marie Martin says she has that album. Lips Inc.
Lips or Kaja Gugu.
Well, she said, we miss Lamal. Was it Lamal or Jamal?
Well, that's Perry.
Perry. Perry. Perry says, we miss Lamal. That was Perry.
He's got a poster of Lamal up in his AI chat room. Lip sync.
All right. Is that a play on the words lip sync?
Good point.
Right.
Now you got the spelling right, Marie.
See, I know stuff. I know stuff too, you know.
Check out the
you two aren't always the smartest in the room.
I'm the dumbest in the room. I've always said that.
I heard a great saying the other day. It says, If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Ooh, that's pretty
Good
cool.
point.
I like that.
I did too.
like
I
that.
thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Someone asked me why. I said, because you ain't learning nothing.
Yeah, none shit. Yeah.
And I said it just like that. Ain't learning nothing.
a double negative.
And
We're
to add on to that,
double negative.
if you're the dumbest person in the room, don't take it bad. Take it good. Learn, right? I don't mind being.
Just
the
don't
dumbest
open
one
your
in the room.
mouth because they're going to say dummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Look
I've
at
learned
Dave
that
Phillips,
well.
King of the 45, shows up an hour and a half into the show. We've been doing the show every Wednesday night at 7:45 for the last year or whatever. And all of a sudden he's like, I missed it again.
Hey, isn't that a Phil Collins song? Doom, ba-da-ba-dum.
Yes.
I missed again.
Yeah, missed again. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Well, that's the beauty of the live stream. Dave Phillips, King of the 45s, the rewatch. You can watch it again. Watch it over the weekend.
Everything we say is around forever, including that fateful anti-Italian comment I made before.
Don't stop kissing his ass in Lou
scares me.
He's holding up a box cutter.
Lou scares me.
Lou's got a box cutter there.
And I'm Irish. I'm going to show my chapstick, Lou.
All right. The Power Station. Yep. They broke up, right? With
Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer.
That was
the
a great group.
late Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
He said he thought they wanted to continue on. And he goes, he said something like, he was older than them. He goes, I've been doing this long. I don't need these kids to tell me what to do or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Then they got Michael DeBar to sing. They were at Live Aid.
With Michael DeBar?
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
He wasn't that good with them.
I think he's an idiot. I listened to his XM show. I don't think Sam Cooke was killed in a massive conspiracy. I think Sam Cooke was killed by he was wearing no pants and a jacket, and the hotel manager shot him dead because he assaulted her. There's no conspiracy there.
Right.
I could see,
Well, you know what? Too much cocaine will kill you.
In the words of the late great Rick James, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And Michael has
cocaine's a hell of a drug. Perry says bad version of Bang a Gong. I disagree.
I disagree too, but
I love that version.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
I love the drum at the beginning. Boom, 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 boom.
The great Tony.
Boom, boom.
Who is the drummer, Lou?
The late Tony Thompson.
Great drummer.
Dude, love that intro. And then it just kicks right into it.
But it has that annoying gated sound of the 80s.
That was the sound of the 80s. I have it in my digital.
I liked it.
I have a kit called Power. It's a direct sample of that kit. It's so funny to play with.
Yeah.
But actually, I thought what they did was pretty clever. It's almost like a hard rock and.
Andy Taylor on guitar, John Taylor on bass. What a great band!
Get hot.
Yeah. Power Station. Another band that broke up in 1985, Quarter Flash.
That early. Wow.
They were around for 4 years. That was it.
The music was never the same.
No, they had one hit, Hard in My Heart, right?
Yeah.
And that was like 84.
80,
it was like 84. That was, I saw them 83. Was it 83? Maybe. Okay. I saw them back up Bob Seger at the Boston Garden. And,
wow.
Yeah. And they, nobody knew any of their other songs. And then, of course, that's the encore song, Hard in My Heart.
Yeah.
With what key aspect of the song? The saxophone.
That was the whole hook.
You know what they were? They were the typical opening band. Play a bunch of songs you don't know, and they do the one hit.
Yeah.
She played the saxophone. They were music teachers. I think they were high school music teachers.
Okay.
They had like a weekend band. And
she was a cutie.
Yeah,
she was a cutie,
She was she was no Pat Benatar.
She's no Patti Smythe either. She was no Patti Smythe.
They were like Four Non-Blondes in the 90s. We saw Aerosmith, and friends of mine were like, who is the Four Non-Blondes open? Who are they? I don't know. I said, keep listening. And they did that one song. Oh, that's who they are. Yeah.
I can't stand that song.
The lead singer of Quarter Flash was Arinda Sue Ross. Rindy Ross. She was a cutie.
Yeah.
Cutie.
Yeah.
Another band that broke up in 1985. The creators of the one-hit wonder of the 80s, The Politics of Dancing.
Was it ABC? No.
The politics of feeling good. The politics of moving.
Who was that?
Reflex.
Okay.
The Reflex. I saw them back up Joan Armatrading.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She put an album out in 1985.
Loved her, man. Loved Joan Armatrading. Although we've had this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just start to irritate me, and I'm having a good show. Don't agitate me.
You want me to?
We're an hour and 40 minutes in, and
I can irritate you.
I know you can. You both can if you really wanted to.
Where's my
I think
guitar?
at this point you both know my buttons.
Where's my guitar?
Yeah.
Where's my guitar?
That's penalty box just for thinking about, just for mentioning it. Just for fucking mentioning it, he goes into the penalty box.
He's asking for
I
it.
miss Jack. I love Jack. I miss Jack. Right? We all do. But I don't miss that fucking guitar thing. I don't miss that.
I know it irritates you.
No, I don't miss that. What are you doing, Mark?
I was looking for something to hold up to the camera, but I don't know.
So you got to have your props ready, because at this point, Mark, expect to go into the penalty box at least once a show now.
That's my second
You're the
time.
bad boy of the Milk Crates and Turntables.
I'm like the
podcast.
one tough player on the Montreal Canadiens. There's only one tough guy on that team.
Yeah.
It's in his contract.
He goes, le punch, le punch, le punch.
Let's see. Who else? Romeo Void broke up in 1985.
What year did they get back together again for that show?
The 90s.
It was 90s.
That show came out in the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. She was like a teacher. They find them at their regular jobs. Deborah Leal, big girl, but she could command the stage. You know, she owned it.
Charisma is charisma.
Yeah. Another band that broke up in 1985, Scandal.
Wow.
Patty
Smythe. Yeah,
Smythe.
that she was a good-looking girl.
Oh yeah.
And the whole
Had a
John
crush on her in
McEnroe
high
thing.
school.
Yeah.
A friend of mine saw her in an airport. It must have been a long flight. He said, he goes, she looks different. He goes, she looks a lot different on television.
It must have been a long
You
flight.
do get drinks in first class.
Another band that broke up in 1985, Social Distortion.
That early.
85.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I always liked them. I thought the dude was way ahead of his time with the neck tattoos.
Yes.
And he had some really serious ink back then, and that was not that common.
No.
Neck tattoos and shit like that were not like it is today.
Did they get a bad rap? I think, but some said they're not punk enough, but they're more. It's a rock band to me.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of,
they were
rockabilly in there?
Yeah,
little
there was a
rock,
mix there.
yeah.
You know, a little
Yeah.
cow punk type.
That was that LA thing. That was a thing.
like
in LA.
X. Things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
John Doe. Yeah.
Let me see. They had Ball and Chain was one of their songs, and
Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire. They did a great version of Ring of Fire. They did some Behind the Eight Ball. What was that hit?
Someone's got the Schmitties.
I get it every once in a while. Let me see. It doesn't say. Mike Ness was the lead singer, guitar player. That doesn't matter. But they had some radio play.
Yep.
And finally, I lose that. Van Zandt broke up in 1985.
There's a band called Van Zandt.
You don't remember them, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Are they supposed to be in Linyard Skynyard?
They had a big hit called, not a hit, but
It's called Whiskey.
Something like Railroad something. I don't know.
Donnie and Johnny Van Zandt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. One of them went on to do Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yep.
The other one went on to do 38 Special.
Very special.
You know.
I wonder if there was a sister named Bonnie. It's so weird, you
Fucking
know.
penalty box.
Is that 3 times now? He's good for 3 each show, I think.
He's
He's got like a minimum.
giving me the middle finger from the green room.
I can't see the green room.
He might get extended time on this one. I don't know.
It's been all-
Like a soccer match.
He's being
Like a soccer match, extended time. What are you going to hold up now? What's that say? You two go home.
Go home, Scott.
there
Go
you
home.
Go home. Biggest hits The top 5 biggest hits of 1985. Start throwing some songs out there.
Money for Nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
It's not in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Saving All My Love for You.
Nope.
I'm gonna go with Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Nope. Close, but no cigar.
Okay, I know what it is. I know one of them.
What is it?
Shout.
Yep. That was the number 1 biggest hit of 85.
The World.
Nope. Oh yeah, We Are the World is. That's the second. Are you Googling, Lou? Are you Googling?
No. I don't Google.
As Lou looks down and I see his laptop reflecting in his glasses, I'm not Googling.
I got my research.
My research. All right.
I know
that's
what it
two.
is.
That's 2. So Shout.
Okay.
We Are the World.
Dancing in the Streets from Mick and David.
Nope.
Night Rocker by David Hasselhoff.
No. That was number 6. Just missed it.
Wait, I'm going to take a stab. Ready?
Yeah.
Chaka.
No. Great song, though. Great fucking song. I love that song.
Addicted to Love.
Nope.
What?
Easy Lover, Phil and Phil.
Nope.
Walking on Sunshine. That was early.
Nope.
View to a Kill.
Nope. There's 3 left out of the top 5. Number 1 was Shout. Number 2 is We Are the World. What?
Careless Whisper.
Nope.
Is this of the
No,
80s?
Marie. Top pop songs. Top
the
top,
80s. Of the 80s?
Of 85.
85, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We Don't Need Another Hero.
No. You're going to be surprised at number 3.
We Built a City.
No.
And We Dance, the Hooters.
Nope. Great song, though.
Raspberry Beret.
Nope. Great song.
Fortress Around Your Heart.
Nope. Great song.
Glory Days.
Nope.
Radioactive by The Firm.
No. Great songs, though.
California
Glory
Girls.
No.
DLR. No.
No.
The Lot, Julian Lennon. Come on.
No, great song. But
Don't
there's
come around.
3 out of the top 5 that you
Don't come around here no more.
think about it. Think about
Every Time You Go Away, Paul Young.
nope. Just think about who was really big, and I'm giving you a hint for one of them. Who's one of the biggest stars of the 80s?
Genesis didn't put an album out
Of the
that year,
80s?
so-
Whitney Houston.
No, but
All
I
I Need is a
know.
Miracle, Mike and the Mechanics.
nope.
I'm stumped.
Biggest stars of the 80s.
One of the biggest stars of the 80s.
Glenn Frey.
She was the
Glenn Frey?
queen of the 80s.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Nope.
That
She
2
was the
years later.
queen of the 80s.
Janet Jackson.
I just
Yeah,
said it
she's cool.
earlier.
Madonna.
Yeah. Material Girl
It was 85.
was 85. Yep. So that was one of the songs. Material Girl. Foreigner. I Want to Know What Love Is.
Wow.
Was number 4.
Yeah, Michael McDonald did a cover of that.
And they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
In number 3, the number 3 biggest song of 1985, Aha, Take On Me.
Wow. Okay.
Out of all those songs you guys just rattled off, Take On Me was
Wow.
a monster. And the video did not hurt it.
Well, that's a song that video helped. If there's ever a song,
sure.
it was a
Again,
unique
so
video.
I had
Absolutely.
mentioned it. Did you see them do the acoustic version of that? The orchestral?
I gotta watch
So
that.
I haven't watched it yet. No.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
You got to watch it. It's really good. Gives the song new perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lou, tell me something about what do you got in your notes about 1985 that will.
Well, I just had some big albums and soundtracks, some soundtrack albums and stuff were. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I don't think I saw any of these movies.
I saw that.
Did
It
you?
was a good movie.
Okay, so
Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking of something.
I don't think there were no big songs from it. It wasn't like, the Cyndi Lauper song, but Glenn Frey and Jack Tempchin, they wrote a piece with Easy Feeling. They had a song called On the Loose. Wang Chung's third album, To Live and Die in LA, was actually the name of the movie. And the
Great
soundtrack.
song. Yeah. So
Right?
that movie, To Live and Die in LA, was the introduction to number 1 bungee cords, bungee jumping.
Was it?
It was. If you watch the video, you see
Really?
the dude jump off
Yeah.
the bridge with bungee. That was like an introduction to bungee jumping.
That's crazy stuff to do, by the way.
That's one of those movies where the star of the movie dies like a quarter of the way into the movie. Like the guy you think is going to be the star of the movie
Okay.
gets killed like a quarter of the way into the movie.
I didn't see. Was that William Peterson?
It was a good movie. It was actually a good movie.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great song, To Live and Die in L.A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was their
Not
third
to be
album.
confused with Walking in L.A., which I fucking hate that song.
Was that
Walking in L.A., nobody walks in
Missing
L.A.
Persons?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dale Bozio at her worst.
I have a friend who's a huge fan of that band.
They were good, but and her brother on drums had put in the same makeup and shit as she did. Was kind
That was
of
her
weird
husband.
to me. That was her husband?
That's Terry Bozzio,
Oh, okay. All right.
Frank Zappa fame.
From Massachusetts.
Yes.
Bedford, I believe.
There was a movie called Birdie, Matthew Modine, but Peter Gabriel did the soundtrack to it. It was some pretty cool stuff.
All
Birdie
right.
was a great movie.
A good movie. That was his
Yeah.
first collaboration with Daniel Lanois.
Yeah.
He produced all the U2 stuff and
Yeah.
the Breakfast Club soundtrack.
Yes. Huge.
My favorite movie.
What was a big hit out of that?
Don't you
Hey.
forget about me.
Yep. Back to the Future soundtrack.
Ah.
Yeah.
I've never seen Back to the Future.
What?
It's a great movie, Lou. Watch it.
I was doing
Watch
something.
it.
I've never saw the what was it? The Big Easy? The Big
the Motown stuff, the Big Chill.
The Big Chill. Never saw that.
I never saw it.
I
either.
saw that. It's
I
a
saw it
bunch
in
of
passing because it was on the television.
some girl that was 30 and never had sex, and then some guy doing too much cocaine. They all smoke weed. They drink wine. You know. It's
Listen to good music though.
It was
Mhm.
excellent music, and
Yeah.
it probably introduced me to Motown. Just hearing that
Right.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Kline, great
Yeah.
actor.
And they did the at the beginning. They did the you can't always get what you want.
Oh, with the funeral. Yeah. Yeah.
Who was the actor in the funeral? Who was who was the dead friend? Did they ever say?
I don't think
I
they
don't know.
showed him.
Maybe Marina.
I never saw the movie, so
Yeah.
I know that was the beginning of it.
I didn't care to see the movie. That was one of the movies that I didn't want to see it for some attitude reason.
I didn't.
Well,
yeah, I just
I was like, I
wasn't-
don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I felt that they were kind of forced. It's like the one with the other one with Demi Moore, the Brat Pack movie, where I forget the name of that movie, but they're kind of forced. Like,
I
let's
know
make
too,
it
too.
dramatic. You know what I
about
mean.
last night?
No, it was another one where Rob Lowe played the bad guy, and they show him with his bar band. He's playing saxophone. I
Yeah,
forget the name of
yeah.
that movie. They're all kind of like a little forced. Like, you get a bunch
So-
of actors in a room, and
St. Elmo's Fire.
there you go.
Yeah,
Marie's on
say
fire
no.
right
Marie Martin's on fire. Yeah. So I was talking to Jack today, and I said, so he goes, "What are you guys going to talk about?" And I said, "Well, this, and this." I said, "We're going to throw in some soundtracks and maybe some movies." And he goes, fucking great. We go from talking about fucking Deep Purple to Sophie's Choice. What the fuck?"
That's
exactly what he
great.
said. That's exactly what he said. Oh, great.
Sophie's
Deep
Choice.
Purple to Sophie's Choice. What the fuck?
Jack, you're not a movie buff.
He doesn't want to taint the show. What
Taint?
else? So Kevin
do have-
Costner, was Kevin Costner, Marie Martin said Kevin Costner, was that in reference to the dead friend?
I guess he's the dead friend.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
I have to rewatch
And
it.
did he talk like this even though he was a corpse?
I'm Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I
They'd
steal
marry
from
and
the
go
rich
get me
and
my
give to
bow.
the poor.
Yeah. Friar talk. Maybe I'll have you in my Dances with Wolves movie.
They call me the Mariner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
I
gills.
like Waterworld. I like that movie.
I do.
That
too.
movie got slammed. That was the biggest flop of that
slammed.
year.
Yeah,
Dennis Hopper, though.
it was a financial flop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they spent a lot of money on water.
This soundtrack, I think, Mark, you might, if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to hear it. It was The Falcon and the Snowman.
Oh,
Ah,
dude,
yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
dude. Pat
Pat-
Metheny.
Pat Metheny.
He
Yeah.
just said dude 3 times, so he knows something.
And what
Yeah,
was the
I knew
big
that.
hit from that? This is Not America.
Not
David
America,
Bowie and Pat
David Bowie.
Metheny.
Yeah.
And it's an
Good
excellent
movie.
soundtrack.
What's up with David Bowie? This is not America. Then he gets with Trent Reznor and says, "I'm afraid of Americans." What's up with fucking David Bowie and America?
Did
If he was
Scott-
alive, I tell him to go fuck himself.
Scott,
You
I
see
know
the movie?
you. I'm afraid of Americans.
Do
You
know
got
the story
villain
of-
on your fucking shirt there. You know?
Well, sometimes you got to wear it on your sleeve, buddy.
Do
Wear it
you
on
know
your
the story of
shirt.
the movie?
Welcome to Sherwood, my douchebag.
It was a true story, right?
It was a true
Yes,
story.
it was a true story. Yeah.
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 It made me realize that Sean Penn, that was the movie where I realized he's a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
You know, because he was
Was.
like, you
Yeah.
know.
Was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
What has he done? What have you done for me lately?
I got
So what
some
else you got,
movies.
Lou?
Oh,
Oh,
so
what do you got, Mark? What do you
no. Let Lou finish.
I go for A View to a Kill. James Bond.
Yes, with
you mentioned earlier,
Grace
Durand.
Jones. With Grace Jones.
Yeah. Crush Groove.
Crush Groove. There you go.
A lot of people in that movie.
Crush Groove. Yep. That it?
Yeah. One thing I noticed, I was reading
Lou
about.
just went totally blank on us.
No, I didn't. I was just reading.
What was that? Fucking human rain delay over here. He goes, Crush Groove. Crush Groove. A lot of people in that.
And
what Lou doesn't
And then
understand.
dead silence.
We worry he froze up when he does that. That's what
This
we're
is
worrying
true.
about.
Yeah.
I'm secure.
So everybody, Lou is upgraded from his hot studio with his whatever kind of computer he had pieced together, like some mad scientist,
Frankenstein,
to
computer.
his nice, comfortable living room with AC and a laptop. We like the new Lou.
Well, thank you. And check this out. Let me do a little swivel here.
Oh.
I still have France.
Hey, there you go. He's still got France. He's still in France. He had us fooled the whole time.
So that's a Jersey couch in France.
Oui.
It's Jersey couch in France.
Le couch.
One of those albums I was reading, was it the Southern Accents? Tom Petty.
Yeah.
That was an 85 album. Robbie Robertson is one of the producers on that record.
Really?
I did not know that. I'm
That's
like,
a great album.
what did he? Why him? Of all these people, like Dave Stewart's producing, Jimmy Iovine, Mike Campbell from the Heartbreakers. Like, how did Robbie Robertson get in there?
Because he
Yeah.
wanted
In
to
light of
tell a
his recent
story,
passing.
and
Yeah.
he got Robbie Robertson.
What was the jazz musician that Sean Penn played? Do you remember?
That I'm stumped on.
Chet
that.
Baker.
He played Chet Baker?
No,
No.
just
Lou
threw that
just-
out there.
Major heroin.
Lou, you had us for a second. You could have just went with it. We would have believed you. Because you said it so quick and so firmly.
I think a little makeup he could play him.
I got a friend, my friend Mark Flynn, right? The king of Google, who comes on every once in a while and interferes in the board here, in the message board. He was here for I don't know. I always say with him, it was a good 2-day visit. Unfortunately, the visit was 4 days long. Right? He would do what Lou did. He'll say, yeah, it's Chet Baker. I think.
Yeah.
He has such a way of making you think that he really knew it, and then he would just always follow up with a very delayed, I think.
Is this
He
the
would
guy
say
that
it
cut?
low,
Was
though.
it?
Huh?
Is this the guy that cut the pie wrong?
Yes.
The cake wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. The pie.
Yeah.
Like a
That was
fucking barbarian.
That was weird.
Yes, he's weird.
Yeah.
Just for that, he's weird. Well, I love him, but he's
He failed geometry, obviously.
yeah.
Listen, weird people make the world go round. I'm weird too. So.
Who cuts a square? Who cuts a pie out of a pie that's already been cut in a whole different spot? Doesn't even connect it. Doesn't even.
I don't know
connect
if I
the old
told
cut.
you. I showed that picture to my son,
Yeah.
who has to have everything
Yeah.
square in line, and he went, "That pisses me off."
Yeah.
He got really mad.
Pissed me off when I saw the pie. What'd you do to my pie?
And then he said, "Dad, you would
Yeah.
do the same thing." That's what he said.
A pumpkin pie like a fucking animal. He just cuts it anywhere.
Does he do that to pizza?
I don't know. That's a good question. No, fortunately, pizza already comes cut. So, fortunately,
You can fuck that up too.
he
though.
can fuck that up. Oh, a friend of mine who stayed here this weekend also because I had my fantasy football draft sent me 2
Fantasy
Chicago-style
football.
pizzas today.
What kind of pizza?
A Chicago-style pizza.
That's a casserole.
I love that pizza.
I do. I like it too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
it wasn't too thick. I love it. The
Okay.
thick ones. I like the thinner ones, but
I got
no
a
bad
brother-in-law from Chicago, and he introduced me to Chicago.
it's all the
pizza.
fucking same. Whether you put the cheese in the bottom and the sauce on top, the sauce on the bottom, it's all going in your mouth. It's tasting the fucking same.
Yeah.
Why do people complain over this? Thin crust, thick crust. Once it gets in your mouth, there's no difference. A little bit of texture. But when you drink that Coke, it all melts in your mouth. So what is this? This is all bullshit. These
When you
people
drink the
fighting over
Chateau de
slices of
Yellowtail.
pizza. Fighting over slices of pizza. What's better? It all goes in your mouth. It's the same ingredients.
Yeah, it's all the water. It's not the ingredients.
No. It's not the water.
Some
It's not
people-
It is the water.
Because the sauce and the cheese overpower everything.
But
And when you put pepperoni on, you're not
Wait,
tasting the dough.
I think we need to let Lou talk about this. If anybody can talk about this,
it's all what you like. You know, I mean, I prefer the cheese on the top. I think it just adds it's a texture thing.
See, he's doing the hand thing. He's really into this.
You're a texturalist.
All right, let's get off this. Come on, keep going. Keep going.
That's all I got for soundtracks.
All right, Mark.
All right. I'm going to go with I'm just going to rattle off some movies and albums that
All right.
really I liked.
Yeah.
Style Council put out Our Favorite Shop this year, and that had some of their few hits. Shout to the Top, and When the Walls Come Tumbling Down is on that.
All right.
Big album. Head on the Door by Cure came out. That was the album that introduced me to the Cure, and I love it. Power Windows Rush.
Yes.
And that to me was, fuck, this is 80s Rush, and I fucking love it.
Me too.
While everyone else was going, I don't like it. There's too many keyboards. Shut up.
It's a great record.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a fan, it's a great record.
Yep. A truly bad album came out this year. Flash from Jeff Beck. I remember me and my good friend Bill Sharp buying it because we thought we were going to hear classic Jeff Beck stuff, and we heard.
We hit the 2-hour mark. That's the new sound. That's the 2-hour alarm.
What was that? Like metal rendering.
No, take your time. That just lets us know we hit the 2-hour mark.
Heart put out their album Heart. It revitalized the band. Done with Mirrors.
Like What About Love on it? And...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Never.
Now Aerosmith put out Done with Mirrors, and I thought that was far superior than Permanent Vacation. I love that album. That came out in '85. That was their big getting back together with Joe Perry, and it didn't go anywhere. Unfortunately.
Marie Martin, that was Godzilla. Godzilla was not in Jurassic Park. Don't ever insult Godzilla again like that. And if you look over here, right at the top of my pinball machine, right there, that's Godzilla right there. Yeah. Tribute to Godzilla. I'm sorry, Mark, continue.
That's okay. The Firm came out. Big comeback for Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers.
Yeah,
I really like that album. Okay, movies. Pale Rider, who had an early Michael Penn in a role in that, and that's a great movie. I forgot
he was the son. He was the guy's son.
Yeah.
Sean's brother, the musician?
The one from Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Passed away. Yep. Vision Quest, which was
I love you, preacher.
Whatever happened to her? I didn't see her after.
She grew up cute.
Yeah. I love you, preacher.
Do you think he did?
Pale Rider was the sequel to High Plains Drifter.
Right.
The man, he was like another version of The Man with No Name.
Yeah. Well, High Plains Drifter wasn't related. The Man with No Name was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's
Fistful of Dollars, $3 More. But High Plains Drifter was a totally different person.
Right, but it was like a guy that just wanders, and
the drifter.
No, I'm not accepting that. No.
Oh, I'm all right. No, I'm messing with.
No.
Look, because I love my westerns.
The guy from High Plains Drifter. See, now you're getting into westerns. You're getting into my genre, buddy. The character from High Plains Drifter
hat on your
came out of
head,
and you never will either. Even though I work with horses, I ain't wearing a cowboy hat.
You got me on that one. You got me. Okay, you got me.
High Plains. He came out. It's like a guy, a demon from hell came out. Yeah. In the same way, he just kind of poof. And there he is,
And did you when you saw those movies like High Plains Drifter? This is a perfect example of this. He goes into this town. It's the most depressing looking town. Like, could you live like that? Like,
that's how they live, though. That's
that's what I mean. It's like, no wonder they drank.
I had the original movie poster for that on my wall. Yeah, the original movie poster for High Plains Drifter. Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, the West was very depressing.
Yeah.
It was.
They were just trying to eke out trying to make their fortune, doing what they could do.
Yeah.
Hey, Tin Pan.
You my
Huckleberry. Go watch. What's the name of the show that was on HBO? With Driftwood.
Great. That was great.
Deadwood.
That's
a true story, by the way.
And who's the guy that got killed in the first season? He was
Bill Hickok.
Yeah.
And that was what's his name?
And he really did get killed in Deadwood.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, shot in the back of the head by a coward.
That's who's going to play those eights and aces. The dead man's hand.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he had.
Yep.
All right, Mark, go on. Sorry for interrupting.
All right, so
that guy, they eventually executed that guy.
Yeah.
Well, damn good. Yeah. All right, so Vision Quest, which I thought was I liked it. wasn't a big
wrestling
Matthew
movie.
McConaughey. It was a great soundtrack. Dio was in it and stuff.
Wasn't Madonna? Didn't Madonna do a song for the
Yep,
Vision
and
Festival?
Style Council.
Yeah.
They were at Walls Come Tumbling Down. Of course, Lou mentioned View to a Kill. That's probably one of my favorite James Bond because it's funny as
It was
shit.
good, yeah.
Christopher Walken was great in it. Right on
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah.
That's not Timothy Dalton. Was that Roger
No, that
Moore?
was Roger Moore's last
His
movie.
last one. Yeah.
So there's a scene at the end where he's on the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's obviously a green screen in the back or whatever. And you see like all the wrinkles. Like, yeah, this guy's too old to be doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bride with Sting. I like that
Ugh.
movie.
Feel you?
Yeah, I did.
Terrible.
Well, I'm a snob. I like Sting.
You must obey me.
Yeah, and Jennifer
Horrible.
Beals. Come on.
Horrible.
I'm a James Garner fan, so Murphy's Romance, kind of cheesy, but I liked it.
You're a big Rockford fan.
Yeah, I am. I just bought the box set of all the seasons.
Great. It's the funniest thing. It's like every episode he gets punched in the face.
And then the
James
the
Rock.
crowning is in the last season when they brought Tom Selleck in for a couple episodes. He is like totally fucked over for Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where he's on the bus. What do I do now? He's hanging off the bus and he ends up falling off the bus. Poor guy.
Told you my father looked exactly like James Garner.
I
when he was
saw
younger.
the picture.
Really?
You're right.
Exactly like him. Yeah, it's
Cool.
amazing.
Yep. Okay. Fright Night. Anybody remember that?
Yeah,
That was a
great movie. Great movie. Yeah.
Brewster.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it was creepy. Yeah.
Weird Science, which had an early who played the big brother? The guy that
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill
Yeah.
Paxton, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. He got his
And
shit
what's
at
her
the end.
name? Went on to marry
Kelly LeBrock.
yeah, she went to marry Steven Seagal.
That was a
Wow.
Oh,
mistake.
that's right. Didn't she die?
Yeah.
Kelly LeBrock?
She died?
I don't know.
Or was something at 20 Kitten? 20 Catan.
Tony Catan's dead.
She married
Yeah,
David
she did.
Coverdale.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, here's a movie. Do you guys remember Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum?
Nope.
No.
That movie made me tired. He was an insomniac in it. And it had a lot of cameos. David Bowie was in it. It's a surreal movie because like the guy can't sleep. And when you watch it, you feel like, oh shit. Like, you know, you can't, he's falling asleep during the day. He's up all night. Really good movie. It's a kind of a film noir. Can't believe no one brought this one up. Pee-wee's Big Adventure came out in 85.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Large Marge.
Classic.
We didn't
Yeah.
talk about movies much. We did mention some soundtracks.
Yeah, I was looking like you guys mentioned most of the music. So Fletch,
No, Rocket
I'm
movie.
not a big fan of
Chevy Chase.
but
That's his
Fletch
best
was
work.
good. It's all about ball bearings. Ball bearings. I love that movie. Okay, here's one. Legend with Tim Curry as the devil. That was freaking great.
Right.
That was a good movie. And the soundtrack from Tangerine Dream and John Anderson.
And that's
doing a lot of
Ridley
that
Scott,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yep. Great
Isn't it?
movie.
Oh.
And there's two versions. If you see the director's cut, you see what he intended. It was a lot better. Better Off Dead, John Cusack, which had
Yep.
one of the only times you saw Van Halen music in a movie.
Wow.
Everybody wants some when the
Really?
burgers
That's
are
right, yeah,
dancing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Do you know how much the street value of all this snow? Breakfast Club. It just to this
Yeah.
day, that comes on. I
Classic,
watch it.
all-time classic.
I'm Bender. No.
Yeah.
All right. This is controversial because it was the weakest of the movies, but Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Tina Turner was a badass in it. You know, it was weak.
I
'cause
saw it for what it was, though.
Yeah.
I saw it for what it was.
It's
It was a
PG-13.
money grab
Yeah.
to bring her in, and
but
you know,
PG,
'cause-
once it was PG-13, I said, fuck. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah. And I laugh my ass off when I see it. It's the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Commando. That's the one where he's with Ray
Yeah.
Don Chong and
Yeah.
they drive into a telephone pole 70 miles an hour and they get out of the car and they go, oh, that was bad.
yeah, yeah.
And that's the one where he climbs out of the plane as it's taking off and he jumps into the swamp. I love that movie. Classic action movie.
All right, good list, buddy. Good list.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to top 10 songs this week in 1985. At number 10 this week in 1985, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. It's probably when it started its climb or it was already on its way down, right? Number 9 on this week in 1985, Billy Joel, You're Only Human.
Oh, I
That
forgot
could-
about that.
Yeah, I forgot about a lot of Billy Joel songs. How's that? Number 8 this week in 1985, Kool and the Gang, Cherish. Cherish the night.
Yeah. Good song.
Talk about a band that took a left turn.
They went pop. Real
They
pop.
like started like they were just
Joanna.
funk in the 70s.
Yeah, serious funk.
You know? This song I heard today, number 7 this week in 1985. Never surrender. Chicka-chick-chang, chicka-chick-chang, by Corey Hart. Number 6 this week in 1985. Tears for Fears, Shout, which went on to be the biggest song of that year.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. Lou, Never Surrender. I remember coming out of the Ridge Diner and seeing some big muscle guy driving up Kinderkamack Road playing that song, and he had his hands outside the window and he was screaming, "Never surrender." It's like one of my lasting memories. I'm like, that guy's an idiot.
And he grew up to be an idiot. Yeah. Number 5 this week in 1985 on the top 10 chart. Bryan Adams, Summer of '69.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hate that song.
That's not one of his best.
No. Got my first real 6-string at a secondhand store.
You know what it reminds me of?
Fucking words.
It reminds me of what's that Canadian band that everyone hates? Fuck.
All of them.
No.
Except for Rush.
There's a band. No, there's a band that came out in the '90s. The singer. Oh fuck. Oh, Nickelback. That kind of reminds me because there's a Nickelback song like where you talk about going to high school. It's like that thing. Yeah.
Nickelback, the running joke in music. Nickelback,
but they sell millions of albums.
Still do, right?
Mega millions.
And so here we go. Number 4 this week in 1985. Capitalizing on the Mad Max Thunderdome. Tina Turner, We Don't Need Another Hero.
Good song.
Fucking horrible song.
I liked it. That's a great song.
Stupid. Dumb song.
When the kids come in, come on.
It's a dumb song.
I say it's great.
I'm the host.
Whoa. All right. Yeah, you're right. It's your show. You're
All right, boys, mix it up.
No, he's right. The song sucks. It's his
Looks
show.
like fight.
I only fight with the Italians, not the Irish.
Number 3 this week in 1985. Love this song. Still love this song. Aretha Franklin, Freeway of Love. We always riding on the freeway.
I didn't like it when it came out, but it grew on me.
Yeah. It's just a happy song.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very happy song.
And she could do that in her sleep.
We're going to ride into Centerville.
Wow, that's a good Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, see?
You should go on American Idol.
I should. America's Got No Talent. That's the show I'm going on. Number 2 this week in 1985. John Parr, St. Elmo's Fire. Never saw that movie. Don't like the soundtrack. Don't like anything about it. I hated the Brat Pack bullshit.
Me too.
I wouldn't buy into it.
Rob Lowe, the bad boy. Come on.
Yeah.
Never saw it. Have no intention of ever seeing it. I won't even watch it on fucking Tubi.
There was only.
You're not a man in motion, are you?
See how I brought that around, Luke? See how I brought Tubi around?
What was John Parr's second big hit?
No.
Naughty. You can tell me. I think it was this.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man,
yeah.
take it easy. It was no St. Elmo's Fire.
Marie Martin called me a hater. What? Because I don't like it. St. Elmo's Fire. It's a stupid movie.
I will tell you one thing. There's a Brat Pack movie that's really good. It's Less Than Zero. That was a great movie.
Yes, it was.
That had Slayer's version of Inagata-Davida, but it was good. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., you hated him in it. He was he was
good.
The white lips and the saliva and that gag.
Yeah. It was a great book too.
Yes, I read it. Yeah.
And number 1 this week on the top 10 chart, Huey Lewis and the News, The Power of Love.
I like that.
Soundtrack, another soundtrack movie.
Soundtrack song, yeah. What was that from?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Which you have to see, Lou.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean,
see it.
I never saw Ghostbusters either.
Wow.
That's another one you guys.
I know.
All right.
You could just see what's her name's legs.
Off the show now.
Jeez.
Yeah, see Back to the Future. You'll like.
I got fired from a job because I said I didn't see Ghostbusters.
You might get fired from a podcast.
I know.
Oh.
I'm still not going to see it.
Lou, this shit's
Lou,
real.
I'll choose you over Ghostbusters
Thanks.
every Wednesday.
Lou, I'll choose you over Mark. I know where this is going.
Every Wednesday, I'll choose you over.
Thank you.
But other than that, you're fired Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Top 10 albums this week in 1985. Number 10, Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy.
With the hit single You're in Love, which is a great fucking
I
song.
love that fucking song.
I don't know that one.
That's a good greatest hits album, man. That's a good greatest hits.
Great riff.
Decade of Decadence or something like that. I think that might be the name of that. Greatest
Rat
hits
were
album,
great.
something
Rat
like
were
that.
a good album.
They were. Rat was really good. They
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Look at this. So Marie Mine says, I'm sending Scott a St.
Good.
Elmo's Fire clip every day.
Good.
This
Do
week.
it. Do it.
Yeah. I am not responsible for my responses to those clips. Okay? I am not responsible.
It's a great
Don't
wine
take
movie,
anything
Scott.
personally, Marie.
It's a great wine movie, Scott. You just sit back and
Great
whine.
wine movie. I'm a recovering alcoholic. What are you
Oh,
trying to
shit.
do to me? Fucking
Really,
penalty
man.
box for you. He's trying to break my sobriety.
Wow.
He wants me to watch a movie and drink wine.
I don't.
Which he wants me to dump 32 years down the drain because because of what? St. Elmo's Fire? Fuck,
Is this a wine drinking?
he's got to be from New Jersey.
Right.
Like, he's right?
Yeah.
That's where he's from, right?
That's where I'm from.
Oh,
No, he's from New Jersey originally. Yeah.
New Jersey originally, yeah.
Yeah.
And New York, New Jersey, it's all the same.
Listen,
It
you
is.
just made me feel that big, Scott. Sorry. I feel horrible.
That's all right. No, hey, don't. I'm good at making you feel guilty. So don't.
'Cause
don't,
I've
don't listen
had-
to a word I said.
I've had a
expert
few
at that.
people say that exact same shit to me through the years.
Okay.
And they're like you. They're just like fucking with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's once you're comfortable and you're safe in it, and you're never comfortable. But once you kind of secure it, you can use it. You can use it to fuck people over. Marie says, "Aren't you in different states?" Yes, I'm in Florida. Lou is in North Carolina,
And I'm in New York.
Mark is in New York.
We got the East Coast covered.
We
I'm
do.
only about a mile over the New Jersey border, though.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all the same. Anyway, let me see. Top 10 albums. Number 9 this week in 1985. Whitney Houston. Number 9 album this week. The number 8 album this week in 1985. Billy Joel Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. Why would you release 1 and 2 at the same time?
Other people
Why
have
would
done
you
that
just say
before.
fucking volume? Why don't you just
It's-
a Greatest Hits album?
It's called
Yeah,
being
double
pompous.
album.
It's called being pompous.
But a double album, just say it's his greatest hits. You don't have to give one album one. Like Elton John did it right. He released 1, and then a few years later, released 2, right?
Billy had to say,
Billy has to be like 1 and 2. Hey, people, look what I'm doing for you.
I've got volumes and volumes of hits.
It has to be a marketing thing. Number 7 this week on the album chart in 1985. Motley Crue, Theater of Pain.
I hated that album.
Did it have
that was
Dr.
a-
Feelgood on it?
No, Dr.
not
Feelgood
that
was
Girls,
that
girls,
album.
girls.
Was Dr. Feelgood? That's right. Girls. That's right.
Girls was a whole nother album.
Yeah.
Theater of Pain had Home Sweet Home.
That's right. Home Sweet
Oh,
It's
Home.
a
Yeah.
weak album. It was. That's when I went off their train.
Number 6 album this week in 1985. Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. I told that story
Good album.
about a month ago. Still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but should be.
Yep.
Just for his solo stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 5 this week in 1985 on the album charts. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Mm.
Chock full of hits.
Yeah. Number 4 this week on the album charts in 1985. Bryan Adams, Reckless.
Reckless.
Number 3 this week on the album charts in 1985. Sting, The Dream of the Blue Turtle.
Great album.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2 this week in 1985 on the album charts. Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair.
Hmm.
And number 1 this week in 1985.
We are the world.
Nope. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's on to This Day in Music. Enough of that. On this day, I'll go from latest to oldest, newest to oldest. On this day in 2020, Lady Gaga, I Don't Care. On this day in 2016, The Beatles' latest edition of Guinness World Records said that Ringo Starr's copy of the Beatles' White Album was officially the most expensive LP ever sold at auction. It was number 0000001.
Wow.
Mark's favorite part of the show, and he leaves. On this day in
Just
2014.
turning the chair around.
Okay.
Didn't want you to see my belly.
On this day in 2014, Kate Bush followed her stage comeback by becoming the first woman to have 8 albums in the UK charts at the same time.
Wow.
8
That's
albums
amazing.
at the same
What
time.
what caused that?
I have no idea. 2 of the
Lactose
singer's
intolerance.
albums, 2 of her albums were in the top 10 and 8 overall in the top 40. It came after she returned for her first live concerts in 35 years. What a marketing genius she was.
Yeah.
She is.
Well, no.
The only artists ahead of Bush are Elvis Presley, who had 12 entries in the top 40 after his death in 77, and the Beatles, who had 11 in 2009. So after 35 years, doesn't show, and all her albums start to chart. That's an unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Dedicated, like the people that watch and listen to Milk Crates and Turntables, they're a dedicated crowd.
To the end.
Yeah.
To the
To
end
the
of
end.
every show.
To the end. Let's see. On this day in 2013, Fred Stoba, a 96-year-old who wrote a song for his late wife, made the U.S. iTunes Top 10 alongside Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. Fred Stoba, whose wife Lorraine had died in April, had no previous musical experience and wrote the song on a whim for a competition. He submitted his handwritten lyrics by post and, in other words, by mail, and although the contest was online, the organizers were so moved they put the words to music. Oh, Sweet Lorraine was number 7 on the U.S. iTunes and had seen over 1.9 million views on YouTube. Good for him.
Wow.
Quite a legacy. And he was 96. Wow. God bless him.
Yeah.
On this day in 2013, a signed copy of John Lennon's whimsical 1964 book, In His Own Right, sold for more than $5,600 after a flurry of 47 bids. Flurry of 47 bids on eBay. Sold on eBay. Jesus.
That's lame.
Filled with cheeky quips and kaleidoscope imagery, the author note was titled About the Awful. Lennon's In His Own Right featured short stories, poems, and drawings. It must have been so bad it could only be sold on eBay.
I had a copy of it. It was cute. It wasn't bad. You know, it was no.
Anyway.
Cute.
On this day in 2004, Usher. Winners at the 2004 MTV Video Music Awards included Usher for Best Male Video. But yeah. This video.
Scott, okay. I think he's having some kind of attack.
Yeah. Best video went to Outkast for Hey Ya. That's a good song. Good video too. Hey Ya. Hey Ya.
Yep.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Right. Best group video, no doubt, for It's My Life, which is a great remake, actually. What are you laughing at? You laughing at my Outkast thing? What? It's My Life. They did a great version of that.
Yes.
No doubt did. They did a good remake of that.
Who did the original?
Bon Jovi.
Talk.
It's My Life.
It was Talk, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Bon
He
Jovi
just
did
died
it.
a couple years ago, the lead singer from there.
It's My
And
Life.
best rock video went to Jet for Are You Gonna Be My Girl?
That's a great song.
Down.
Now, Scott, weren't Jet Philippine? I
Huh?
think they were. They were a Philippine, right? Jet?
No.
I think they're American.
They were American. Yeah.
Oh, I read somewhere that they were Philippine. I mean, Philippine descent. Okay.
I don't
They
know.
were
No,
great,
they
though.
looked
They were
American
great.
to me, but
They had great songs. Just
Yeah.
like cheesy pop, but good songs.
like garage rock, kind of, you know?
oh,
on this-
shit. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another band.
You're thinking of the group, like the singers and dancing. Like,
Heaven Sent and all
yeah,
that.
Yeah. I was thinking of going, I
All
don't
right,
know.
I'm going to leave the show now.
Yeah.
Bye.
There you go. On this day in 1995, Carly Simon, greatest mouth in music history,
Oh boy.
and James Taylor performed live together
we
in front
go
of
again.
10,000 fans on Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. It was the first time they appeared live on the same stage since '79. The former couple played their own solo sets before combining their efforts in raising money for a local agricultural society.
And they locked her up.
Martha's Vineyard. Just don't bring them. Don't bring illegals to Martha's Vineyard. They'll raise money for you, but you can't live here. Let me see. On this day in 1995, Sterling Morrison. Who's
Velvet
Sterling
Underground.
Morrison?
Velvet
Huh?
Underground.
What's Mark laughing at? Did he laugh at
Nothing.
his own
Nothing,
joke?
Scott. Nothing, man.
Did he just make his own joke and he was laughing
No,
hysterically at his
I'm
own
watching
joke?
you. I'm listening to you. I'm learning. I'm being schooled by you. And I got one cheek off my chair because my sciatica's blazing.
Okay. We're almost done. We're almost done.
No, it's okay.
Who's Sterling Morrison, Lou?
Wasn't he in the Velvet Underground?
Founding member.
If I remember.
Yeah, a Velvet. Died of cancer at his home in New York City 2 days after his 53rd birthday.
Yee.
The guitarist left the group in August 1971 and rejoined in 92 for a European tour. During the 80s, he became the captain of a Houston tugboat.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
On this day in 1994, I'm sorry, Oasis performed a selection of new songs at London's Virgin Megastore, Marble Arch. Main man from the Lemonheads, Evan Dando, joined the band
Oh,
for a new song called Whatever.
I didn't know Evan Dando played with them. Wow.
On this day in 1992, appearing at this year's Reading Festival in England, Suede, Ride, Pavement, Public Enemy, Manic Street Preachers, Manic Street Preachers. Yeah,
Yeah.
bassist Nicky Wire smashed his guitar in two and hurled it into the crowd, hitting a security guard who needed 16 stitches.
Oh shit.
That
That was a great lineup.
This was one of the most famous in festival's history. Nirvana played what would become their last UK concert, and one of their most famous. Kurt Cobain took to the stage in a wheelchair, pushed by music journalist Everett True, parodying speculations about his mental health.
Wow.
Wow.
Not like when Snoop Dogg at the Grammy Awards came on for Murder Was the Case, came on stage in a wheelchair. Murder was the case that they gave me. Yeah. I know my wheelchairs.
No, you know you rap. You better
Yeah,
rap.
I know.
Yeah.
I do. On this day in 1989, Billy Joel fired his manager and former brother-in-law, Frank Weber, after an audit revealed discrepancies. Joel took Weber to court and sued for $90 million.
Never trust the brother-in-law.
Ooh. On this day in 1989, Izzy Stradlin from Guns N' Roses was arrested for making a public disturbance on a U.S. air flight. Stradlin had urinated on the floor, verbally abused a stewardess, because that's what they are, and smoked in the non-smoking section of the aircraft, because in 89, you can still smoke on a plane.
You know what? He was trying to be Axl and he just couldn't do it.
He didn't have to be. He wrote
No,
the songs.
Yeah, that's right.
He tried to be an asshole, but he couldn't be an asshole. He just couldn't.
On this day in 1988, Bruce Springsteen's wife, Julianne filed for divorce after newspapers published photos of Springsteen and backing singer and family killer Patty Scialfa.
He had
Not
no
really.
right. He had no right marrying that actress.
That was a failed marriage from the start.
That was doomed from the start. He had to go back
He's
to New
still
Jersey.
with Patty. He's still with Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not a bad singer.
I remember those pictures though. Like, oh, Bruce is
Yeah.
relaxing. He's relaxing.
Yeah.
On this day in 1986, Steve Winwood went to #1 in the U.S. singles charts with Higher Love, number 13 hit in the U.K.
Biggie.
I saw
like
him
that
at the Province Civic Center, and there is quite a kind of a crazy story to that concert that I
Really?
probably can't tell on the air because I
Did it involve Steve Winwood's balls on your neck?
no, but it did involve a girl I met in the crowd. And
All
then
right.
I
Oh,
leave it
that's
there.
just no. Stop it. Stop.
Facing the crowd.
Crazy,
That'll be for the Patreon show, the post show. Yeah.
crazy story.
$50 a
Okay.
ticket.
Like crazy story.
When we see that face, we know.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
Because you gave that face before the balls of Bono.
Well, you're just jealous that Bono's balls were in the back of your neck. Triple X. You could probably say that. You could probably say that. And I'll stop there. On this day in 1975, Paul Kossoff, guitarist with Free and Backstreet Crawler, died for 35 minutes in a hospital after being taken ill.
He was a great guitarist.
Kossoff died on 19th of March 1976 of heart failure. So he was dead for 35 minutes. Take that, Nikki Sixx. Hold my beer. Let's see.
He was dead, then he brought him back?
Yeah, he was dead. He died for 35 minutes.
He wasn't really dead then.
Well, they can keep trying to resuscitate you. I don't know the brain thing. I don't know.
They've been known. I think they go up to an hour.
Yeah. On this day in 1975, Rod Stewart had his 5th UK #1 album when Atlantic Crossing started a 5-week run at the top of the charts.
Great album.
Then they took him to the hospital and had his stomach pumped.
I believe that story when I heard it.
Everybody
didn't we all?
I thought the first one in line was Carmine and PC.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Come on, Rod. Come on.
On this day in 1972, John Lennon and Yoko Ono played Madison Square Gardens to raise money for the Willowbrooks State School. Earplugs were given out for Yoko's part of the show. Stevie Wonder, Sha Na Na, and Roberta Flack also appeared at the event. Lennon personally bought $60,000 worth of tickets, which were given to volunteer fundraisers. Several of the performances were later included in Lennon's Live in New York City album. On this day in 1969, 2 weeks after the Woodstock Festival, the second Isle of Wight Festival took place. Over 150,000 turned out over 2 days to see Bob Dylan, the band, Blodwyn Pig, Blonde on Blonde, Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, Edgar Burrowton Band, Joe Cocker, let's see, Fat Mattress. That's a good name for
You know what that was? That was Noel Redding's band after he left
Noel Redding?
Hendrix. Yeah. They went nowhere.
Yeah. Good point. That's a good fact, though. Free, Richie Havens, the Moody Blues, the Pretty Things, the Who. Anyways,
Jimi Hendrix was at that one, right? Is that the one like 2 weeks before his death, right?
What year was 2 weeks after Woodstock in 69.
Okay.
Also, on this day in 1969, one hit wonder Zager and Evans started a 3-week run at #1 in UK single charts with "In the Year 2525."
I like that song.
On this day in 1969, the 3-day Texas Pop Festival took place featuring Janis Joplin, Led Zeppelin, Sam and Dave, Santana, Johnny Winter, Grand Funk Railroad, Delaney and Bonnie, Nas, Spirit, B.B. King, Canned Heat, and Chicago. Wow.
That's a cool lineup.
That's a pretty good lineup. I would have avoided Janis Joplin, but
yeah,
I would have saw everybody else. I'd watch Canned Heat before I watched Janis Joplin. Going down to the booty. I'm going down to the booty.
Going down.
Such a big dude with such a. It's like they castrated him. It was like he was a choir boy at the Vatican.
He's a eunuch.
He's a eunuch.
Going up.
Yeah.
We sound like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
I'm going to the country.
Put the lime in the coconut and eat it.
Marie Martin says, saw B.B. King in Texarkana just before he died.
Wow. I never saw BB. I'm envious.
And finally, let's see. On this day in 1968, American band The Byrds released their 6th album, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. The album has proved to be a landmark for the entire nascent 1970s Los Angeles country rock movement.
Yeah.
That had Lou, what's his name?
Graham Parsons.
Thank you.
Parsons.
Great album.
In my opinion, it's
Don't
fantastic
talk
expedition of Dylan
pretty
and Clark is a better
girls.
record.
Yeah.
And it was also influential on the outlaw country and new traditionalist movements.
Yes.
I hate when they call music movements.
That's bowel movement.
As well as the so-called alternative country genre. So-called.
Yeah, because we can't have hippies playing country music.
Alternative country genre of the 1990s. So-called.
They got long hair.
It wasn't so cold. It was cold.
Yeah, exactly.
They got long hair nudie suits and they're playing distortion. This ain't good. We can't have this now.
And finally, in 1949, Hank Williams went into Herzog Studio in Cincinnati to record I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry.
Great.
Williams wrote the song originally intending that the words be spoken rather than sung.
The original rap.
Yeah, the song about loneliness was largely inspired by his troubled relationship with his wife, Audrey Shepherd.
Miss Audrey.
Yep. Born on this day in 1986, George Ryson Ross III, lead singer and guitarist for American rock band Panic at the Disco. Let's see. Born on this day in 1964, Robert Cliviles, producer and DJ with the rap group CNC Music Factory. He's one of the C's. Gonna make you sweat. Things that make you go whom.
Yep.
Born on this day in 1963, the great DJ, one of the DJs that actually was one of the first DJs to be a star, like to be an artist.
DJ
Paul Oakenfold.
Oh, yeah.
Producer, remixer, DJ, toured with U2, remixed for Simply Red, People, New Order, Stone Roses, and U2. Born on this day in 1961, Keith McKenzie of The Shaman. I don't know what that is. Born on this day in 1958, Martin Jackson. Drums. Magazine. Is that a band? Yes. Swing Out Sister.
Okay.
Break Out. Born on this day in 1954, Ronald Beadle, drummer for Wild Cherry. Play
Ronald
that
Beadle of the
funky
Beatles.
music, white boy. Born on this day in 1953, Horace Panter, also known as Sir Horace Gentleman, bassist for the British two-tone ska band The Specials, who had the 1981 hit, great song, This Town.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like a ghost town. Yeah.
Really hard things now.
No more fighting on the dance floor. Love that song. Born on this day in 1950, Mickey Moody, guitar for Juicy Lucy. And White
Mickey
Snake.
Moody of Juicy Lucy.
Yeah. White Snake, too. White Snake. Yeah.
Mick Moody,
He played on Here I Go Again.
Huh.
Yep, the original version.
Yeah, the original version. Yeah. Born on this day in 1941, John McNally from The Searchers. Born on this day in 1939, the great, and we never really got to see the greatness that was John Peel, BBC DJ, radio DJ. That guy was just like, he could pick him.
Yep.
And he was a star maker, that guy.
Yeah.
TV presenter. What goes on with him. Born on this day in 1935, John Phillips from the Mamas and the Papas. And finally, born on this day in 1919, American pioneering female country music singer, Ellen Burrell Deason, who became known as Kitty Wells. Kitty Wells.
Okay.
Her 1952 hit, It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels. That's a great name. Made her the first female country singer to top the U.S. country charts and turned her into the first female country star. Wells died on July 16th, 2012 at 92. God bless her.
Yeah.
And that's the show, gentlemen.
All right. I know we're going on a lot, and Lou's
No, I
back
don't
is
care.
probably hurting him, but I got to back up. One thing I got to comment on what you talked about tonight. You mentioned that Judas Priest court case.
Yeah.
Backward. I remember when that happened, and I was only a sophomore, but I was scared because if that case had went against Judas Priest, there probably would have been not only the end of the band, but can you imagine? Because after that, there were a lot more lawsuits about backward messages. Ozzy was sued. It would have opened floodgates. And I was, at that time, my parents were in a church that said rock and roll was evil, and they believed in backwards masking and all that. And they believed Stairway to Heaven said My Sweet Satan like 30 times. If that case had went the way of, and I'm sorry because the kids shot themselves. I feel bad, but if it had went in favor of the parents, my God, we may have seen albums put out of print. We may have seen just who knows what would have happened.
Tipper Gore was the devil.
You know, and it was like this. I used to, my parents would make me go to this, well, my father, not my mother, go to this church, and they would say Queen's evil, Styx is evil, and they would just say that. They would smash
Styx were evil.
And well, Dennis DeYoung, because he
Thank
wrote
you,
Babe.
Lou. Thank you.
But
Lou.
Welcome.
no, thank God that case, the judge, thank God he
Yeah.
had sanity and he ruled in favor, because that could have been like the end
Well,
of
he
rock and roll.
probably saw that was going to open up a can of worms.
Well,
Yeah.
Speaking of, because my brother-in-law was in an accident that year in a head-on collision. Actually, it was on Rivervale Road, Mark.
Okay.
And the kid it was an accident. The kid was listening to Suicidal Tendencies. It was the cassette that was
I just wanted a Pepsi.
Yeah, right. I mean, my father was like, Steve was in an accident. He goes, he was listening to Suicidal Tendencies. Do you think it was some attempted, like I said, how the kid just fucked up,
A murder suicide.
Yeah, my brother lived, and brother-in-law lived, but but it was at that same time where these those kids were their parents were trying to make it seem like they actually killed themselves because of Judas Priest, and then here it is, just how that hysteria built up.
Yeah. You know what's funny? My church said that Another One Bites the Dust backwards said start to smoke marijuana, and they claimed it got you. And it's true, when you spun it, it does sound like it, but that's phonetics. Start to smoke marijuana.
Wow.
I imagine Freddie, ta-ta people.
Yeah.
So, thank God that court case went the way it did, because it just kind of put it down.
Music. It would have changed music. Yeah. But that just would have made bootlegs that much better.
Sure.
All right, gentlemen.
You can't stop rock and roll.
No.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Holy.
We're half a Grateful Dead show.
What is the record? 258?
I know. I think we've hit 3 hours.
We did.
I think we've actually hit 3 hours at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the only reason I agreed to this, I'm on vacation, so I don't work tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Well,
Lou,
as I always
I'm
say,
sorry
gentlemen,
for you, Lou.
That's okay.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your input. I always appreciate you guys. I never take it for granted. I was talking about you guys the other day to my wife again about how you guys just kind of fell into this whole thing, and I said back then they're a fucking gold mine. It's exactly.
Well, we're honored to be on your show.
They're fucking good. And I don't swear in front of my wife too often. I might jokingly say like, "What the fuck was that?" Right? But no, I say you guys are a fucking good, and it's been nothing but fun ever since. So again, thank you very much. I always appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And I always say to my audience, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like it, share it. If you don't like it, thanks for listening for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Thank you, Patty.
And you are the engine that runs this machine. And Patty is one of the spark plugs of this show. Right?
Joni Mitchell.
Great show as always. Thanks, guys, for all the info and laughs. Have a super rest of the week. Joni Mitchell comes in second place with The Mouth. I never really looked at I say
Not
Sheryl
bad.
Crow. I say but Joni Mitchell has a pretty nice mouth.
I'm going to go with Joni.
I'm going to go look at that again. I might have an assessment on that. Remind me next week, Patty. Remind me to see who has the Carly Simon's hands down the best. There could be a debate for number 2. Carly Simon has the greatest mouth in music. Oh, it's hot. Anyway, like I always say.
And in fact, nobody does it better.
It's the anticipation. Mark, what are you doing? At the same time.
Mark, you're not even close.
I'm a fish out of water. What? I'm doing a fish.
Marie, thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We really do. We appreciate it. Hope we entertained you. That's our goal. That's our goal.
Where's Todd?
Todd didn't show up tonight. I don't know. He's probably. That's a good question.
We didn't entertain him.
We didn't entertain Todd tonight.
He worked late.
Yeah. So, as I always say, doing this show for you, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. And we'll be back next week. You want to do another year? Another year show?
Yeah.
Let's do like 77.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
1977. Now, people that are still watching and still listening, this is going to go like this. Next Tuesday, someone's going to send a text between them and say, what are we talking about tomorrow night?
It'll be me. It'll be me.
What are we talking about tomorrow night? So next week, we'll talk about 1977.
I have it written down here.
Don't forget.
So, all right, and enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great Labor Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great Labor Day. Be safe, and we hope you're back safe and sound next Wednesday night. Talk to you later.
See you guys.